thought about getting a sex change because I thought it would make me better at video games.
Yeah.
But I'm not sure if that would actually work or not. I think it would make me a really good speedrunner if I wanted to speedrun Zelda or something.
It would definitely get you more.
Would it be
get you
more
of an audience.
aerodynamic, just faster in general if I cut my nuts
Yeah.
off?
Yeah.
Right?
They're creating too much drag. Too many drag kids. Yeah. I've thought about it before. We are live on Tape Eaters, on YouTube. What's up, homies? We got Southern Pollock here, Maud is here, K98 is here. What's up, guys?
Hello.
Zay.
I don't know if anybody else is here. Flame should be joining us. Greasy, who knows what these people are doing? I don't know. It's fucking mystery. So, what are the current events? For the most current is like the implosion of America First, right?
Pretty
Right.
much.
So that shit's pretty funny to see. It's a lot of shit people have just been saying for a long time, just like brought to the surface. Nick is a weird guy who gets tickled at baked Alaskas and goes cum hunting on other people's couches.
Come on.
I tend to think he's not like actively having sex with men. I don't think he's that level of gay, but he's a gay where he's kind of just come of age. Like, you don't even know, when you're fucking 17, what the fuck do you know? And now he was like trying to run away from it, but he accidentally surrounded himself with like a group of young men, like, and doing just like the gayest thing possible, just because that's what his nature was. He couldn't help it.
Anything in me?
So yeah, the Groypers and America First BTFO'd eternally at this point, it looks like.
They do be
And then you get-
groping
Yeah, I do be groping. Yeah.
and gaping.
We got Midwest Vikinger in the chat. Whoop whoop ninjas, trucking guy, content consumer. We got the homies. What do you guys think of this whole situation with America First? Were you ever Groypers? I wasn't. I hate baby.
No.
I mean,
I was.
Maud is a frog. And now, this gave me a whole new perspective on the frog accounts, to be totally honest. I feel like most of them are feds. And now that I see like all these Groyper accounts like still supporting Nick, and I'm like, they're not just supporting him. That would kind of be fine, but they're like pledging their undying loyalty to him, like in those words on Twitter. It's like, these aren't real people.
There were two factions of frogs. There were the non-political cozy frogs, who had nothing to do with.
And every time you say cozy, I'm going to think of Nick because of Cozy TV or whatever.
Yeah, they got the name from us. Because they were co-opting our symbols. And the very first pieces of Groper fan art that
we was
he
Pepe.
supposedly used were made by us, by a person known as Jeannie Groper, who's a good friend of mine over on the Twitters. And we fought them for a long time, and then we kept calling them gay until it happened. It was me magic. We manifested
A gin.
homoeroticism in the Groper movement.
My issue with America First is that they seem to have like the worst of both worlds. Like, not only do they have all the baggage that comes with being alt-right, but they also get to be cocksuckers for politicians, for like mainstream politicians. So
that's the problem. They're just like on the cuff of being alt-right and funny, but they're not. And honestly, if you take their platform, which is like no to immigration and no to political machines, it's exactly the Republican Party's platform during the Reconstruction era, which is retarded.
Content consumer says, America First exists only until Nick has sex, but the existence of AF keeps Nick from having sex. Can't get out of this. Can't get out of this paradox.
AF stands for ass fucking.
It's true. So, like, it feels like...
I think Ethan Ralph could get on board with that.
I was going to say, this whole Ethan Ralph drama just bled right over into Nick because of his stupidity. And I'm not sure exactly, like, how stupid can you be to not realize that having Ethan Ralph around is going to blow up in your face?
I mean, look at the guy.
He loves things blowing up in his face.
It just sounds like he ran out of people to tell him no, that he wasn't going to take that anymore.
Man's like a fucking human toilet, like at this point.
Which one?
Not good.
A cum toilet.
Wow, the Ralph male.
He is. He is a toilet nibble. There's no doubt about it.
The Ralph male.
So yeah, I don't understand Nick's strategy in bringing on Ralph. I don't know what he thought Ralph brought to the table. I just can't figure it out. It's like not viewers, not good content, and like
they both love McDonald's.
Yeah,
I think
maybe.
I think
but from Ralph's mouth, he'll be like, it's loyalty. But it's like nobody believes Ralph is loyal to anybody. Nobody believes that at all. So I don't fucking get why he decided to destroy his whole thing over Ethan Ralph, because that is how it feels. And like I don't know who I was talking about with this, but it was like bringing Mediker's attention to him. Like that's gonna kill you, especially going and you're gonna have a debate with Mr. Mediker, and you're gonna be like, I'm gonna end your career. That dude's gonna stomp you.
Yeah, Jim is very good at what he does, and like that's the thing with Mediker is I wouldn't want to get in a fucking internet feud with him. Like I don't know why you would choose to do that.
Mediker has the sweetest gig in all of like, I don't know, streaming and podcasting and that whole thing. He has it so fucking good in that he doesn't need a single platform. Wherever he shows up, all his fans show up and he gets paid.
Yeah, and
that's the dream.
His COVID shilling was gay, and I fell for it.
All us like little guys, we're like trying to create a brand and like be on that brand and draw everyone to us, because like just desperately trying to get any attention. But this guy can go wherever he wants, and a legion of pay pigs follow him. It's fucking awesome.
Like I saw people, his last fucking stream, people were dropping $500 left and right in his chat, and I was like, holy shit.
Well, the content's that good. Straight up, his fucking the Finders videos were some of the best streams I've ever seen. Maybe probably the most important streams I've ever seen.
Yeah.
So you attract that kind of attention. You get rid of all of the rational people. You keep around only the most fucking unhinged. And of course your little political thing is going to fucking burn. And then I'm looking at the Ethan Ralph posts all over Twitter, and like Gator is releasing some messages that they had with one another from 2020 when Ethan was with Faith. I'll just read this now because it's fantastic. The whole fucking thing. Here we go. Oh, almost. Be patient, I have autism. From Memphis Mauler. Ralph, you up? Gator. Yeah, Gator here. Just sitting around drinking Diet Dr. Pepper and watching Animu. I want to do this in a Ralph voice, but I don't think I can do it. I can do Chris Chan. I can't do Ralph.
I can do a Ralph voice, but I can't read what you're reading, so.
Motherfucker. How do I get this to you? All right, well, I'll just... God damn it. Now we have to do this right. I can't just half-ass it at this point. Hold on, everybody. They're doing a bit. You got to be patient with us. I'm dropping the text into the bar and grill.
Alright.
Or I'm dropping the link. There it is. Yeah. There it is.
Gotcha. Alright.
Alright, hold on. Let's do this right now. You got it?
Yeah.
Gator here, just sitting around drinking Diet Dr. Pepper and watching Animu.
Okay, well, I don't really have anyone else to tell us, but Faye's been talking to her ex.
You gotta enunciate more. We can't understand you. You're doing too drunk. You've gone too far into the fucking Zanny depths.
Okay. Basically, alternate level shit. I'm about 90% level on sending her away. In fact, I told her I was getting her shit together now. I'm really trying to stay analytical about this. Luckily, I only had 3 drinks, and I think they're about out of my system now. I no other drink for 10 hours, lol.
Jack, can you even understand what he's saying? I really want to know, because I barely can.
I can understand.
It's pretty good.
That's how Ralph sounds to me. Ethan Ralph, yeah. I mean, like he runs out of breath halfway through his sentences. That's true. A lot. So I mean, yeah, that's how he's.
Yeah, so he's talking about his deal with Faith, And Faith is talking to her ex. She's doing woman stuff of like living a double life while she's like living with Ralph for some reason at the age of only 18. Says, luckily I only has 3 drinks tonight. He only
has 3 drinks tonight.
Yeah, dude. They're about all out of my system now, and there's nowhere to drink for 10 hours, lol. Well, I did tell one other person, and that's Nora. I don't know why. So, if this becomes a thing, obviously it's going to be a big story. But I told her ex in DMs that he could have her. I got what I wanted by coming inside of her raw hundreds of times, lol.
Ew, that's so gross. God.
Minimalist interaction, but I wanted that as part of the screenshot if it leaks. Gator here. Bruh, this is not the thing you needed right now. My instinct is to send her away with no issue. Maybe we have to come get her shit when I'm not here, or maybe she has to come get her shit when I'm not here even. Then push through and ignore it. There's really no other plan, lol. And no, it was not. But if I have to address it and it comes up, spin as using some young dumb cum slut as a cum bucket. Spin as using some young dumb slut as a cum bucket is the quote. Spin as using some young dumb slut as a cum bucket, he says to Gator. And Gator here. May I suggest an alternative strategy? Sure, Ralph says. Think about what you want to do in the situation and then do the exact opposite, Gator says. Which might have been good advice for Ralph to follow. I don't know.
Yeah. He didn't follow it though.
No. He did not. This was 2 years ago. Now he's saying like things have gone horribly wrong with this 18-year-old girl fresh out of high school that I convinced to come live with me as like some kind of weird hostage. Things have gone terribly wrong. So we're going to spin this as her being a cum slut that I rammed hot loads in.
Yeah.
What kind of spin is that? What kind of PR is this again?
Didn't think about what the consequences would be.
They love it when you turn 18-year-olds of the street into cum buckets.
It's true. So that's all talking about Faith Vickers, the 18-year-old. Then I'm on Twitter and I see Vicious Vickers replying, and that is her father, Vicious Vickers. He replies,
a porn name.
He replies, cum buckets can get expensive. Christ is Kang. And now, okay.
What the fuck?
Okay, it's like
his daughter.
It's his daughter. He's referring to his daughter as a cum bucket here.
That's not good.
And he thinks he's owning Ethan Ralph by doing it.
Letting your daughter be called a cum bucket to own the liberal.
Yeah, dude. It's another level.
Maybe
what up,
wanted his turn.
Greetings. We are here. Well,
Hello.
I am here. I'm here now.
I cannot figure this audio shit out, man. I have everybody all the way up. Some of you are high, some of you are low. Gotta fuck with you guys. Figure it out.
You remember Matt? Not the other Matt.
I forgot about that guy.
You know the other Matt?
Maddie?
You know the other Matt?
before my
The one that had the fucking samurai swords and shit?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
I mean, Yakov looks like a blonde version of him right now.
That's weird. I don't know what to say to that.
The synchronicities.
You look like an Aryan version of him.
Aryan version.
So about this bingo. You got your bingo card up, Flame? Which fucking card you got? You got a signed one?
I got 3. You told me 3.
We're gonna do some more schizo bingo. I put this fucking bingo card in the wrong place. Like, it shouldn't even be on this screen. It should be on the other screen. Alright. We're gonna go back to... I forgot what her name was. Here, we can watch this video before we even do it. Let's watch this. The video that sums up 2022 nicely. Here we have a tranny kid, cat-eared Minecraft streamer with Kim Jong-un on its wall. Let's see how this goes.
Oh God! Thank you for the follow, Picho Roll Call.
FBI, open up!
Chloe? Yeah.
Cops
Okay, well now there's an officer in here just trying to join the stream.
Get swatted on, kid.
Okay.
Kid.
So basically, now we just have to get back to the little base area so we can like get the paper and stuff.
Syria.
And I guess we're just gonna have officers sitting in on the stream. Hey, Pizza Roll Chloe.
Hold on.
Nice seeing
Let
you
it
here
play
for the
through.
first time.
Listen.
You winning?
Okay. I don't think you guys heard that. I hope you didn't. But basically, I'm just gonna act like they're not here because that's easier.
Right?
He's like,
I don't know why they wanted to come in on the
Sure
stream.
you dilated today.
Are you winning, daughter? I think it was handled really well, to be honest.
No, what like the cattier person should have done was pull out a gun immediately and start lighting up the room.
He should have Rooney McNutt himself all over the room.
That's true. That's true. All right, let's play some Schizo Bingo. We got a pretty long video here. Everybody got their card. Everybody know which bingo card they got.
Yep.
I'm going
to show you what is impossible light activity. First of all, this is two shadows that I have. And this
shadows.
Is orange radiant light. It's appearing on top of my shoe. It's not disappearing as you step in light. Ordinarily, because you're talking about the trajectory light, this is also appearing in the shade. This is not normal light. That's directed light coming in this direction. This is
impossible light.
The environment where they're group stalking. Yep. And I captured their license plates on my podcast already. They're group stalking while I'm inside of the store. They're maintaining presence. Doing so with minor children. I got close-up images of this group stalker. He's a sex offender, him and the female in the vehicle, while they're engaging in this sex offense, this terrorism, the fake.
Maybe I should go through this a little bit. Let's go through the card real quick because these are coming really fast.
Holy fuck,
So-
yeah, we get the fake sun. Holy fuck.
Fake Sun is the free space on this one. What's her name? God damn, Erica, Lorraine, something. Fuck, dude. It doesn't matter. She's a schizo. POC, pattern of conduct on YouTube. So silent onlooker. This isn't all. Not all of them are going to be on the card, but you're going to get the idea.
Does sexual talk include accusing someone of being a sex offender?
Oh, it's a good question, actually. We leave it to chat. We'll let chat figure out if that is sexual talk or not. Silent onlooker, so that's if someone's just like staring in awe, like afraid to say something while they're being filmed. POC is when she mentions her channel. Licensed music. Weave goes flying. That is a rare one, but it might happen. Mention of gang stalking, because of course. Cops, because they're ever present wherever she goes. Says location if she doxes her exact location. Federal prison if she says she's going to send somebody to prison. If she calls somebody a demon. Reading license plate numbers at lightning speed. Sexual talk, which I was thinking like these people molested me. They're sending waves to my fucking clitoris and whatever. We've heard these things before. If she doxes someone. Impossible light, because it's a fake sun and light's impossible. It can't be happening like this. Community guidelines strike if she does something that would get my channel taken down. Talk of shadows, we actually got that. I'm going to check that one off.
Yep.
Yeah, so we got shadows, fake sun, impossible light, mention of gang stalking, minions if she calls people minions. Flat earth if she brings that up, I don't know if she will. Food if that comes up. Pointing at a person in a vehicle. Mace, if she gets maced or if there's talk of mace or something like that. Yelling in a library, which has been pretty common. If physical threats are made. If her personal items are visible. If the video ends abruptly. There's probably a couple more floating out there on different cards. That's the idea.
Minions.
And you can see reflecting on their windshield. It's right here above my head. This is the same 7-Eleven where the entity is keeping a fake sun over me in the evening, which you can see in the video where the entity was engaging in an ongoing light show. I'm going to prosecute 7-Eleven. It's a company engaging in sexual violence, terrorism, demons maintaining presence at the venue,
right, it's definitely
monitoring with them, directing
talk.
light while this demon drives by. 5JZT856.
Okay, we got license plates.
This is driving by, directed light swiping all across the property. It's entirely demonic. All right, and they do that across your person. That's the sex offense.
Obviously.
And that's the act of a demon-possessed person. This is Satan that's present through the environment, not possibly the sun, and that is not possibly sunlight. That's not occurring when you're driving by. He's driving by the... Nope. Let's break this down. This is common sense. This is supposedly the sun here.
Is this a black woman?
You're talking about what is no reflection of any sunlight that's going to create that light activity. This is a demon. And engaging in stalking with impunity...
That's crazy.
Chat wants bingo cards. I'll send you the bingo cards, everybody. We'll do more of this. I'll make sure the links are available. Chat wants bingo cards, huh? Chat gets bingo cards. Hold up, Eric. Another thing everybody's got to be.
I am 2 stamps away from bingo here. I need POC and
yeah, we're getting
music.
close, dude. This shit's coming fast, and like I said, it's an 8-minute video, so.
Damn.
Dude,
I can't. The fucking link is just too fucking retarded and ridiculous to even send. I can send it in parts. In like 4 parts. I'm not doing that right now.
Sorry, get your bingo cards in the Discord.
Yeah, get the fuck in the Discord.
Get your bingo card.
Patreon.com/yakovalive. You can get in the Discord and make this nice and easy. I'll find a way to give this to you otherwise. But right now, we're playing bingo.
Is the grounds of federal prison.
So
in addition to when the enemy's flying over my head by helicopter or stalking by police, and they act with such impunity, federal prison. All right, but like I said, we've already surpassed it. The people of the state, a lot of people are going to federal prison for that which I'm establishing the precedent for. At 9:45, in addition to that, understanding what's not the sun while it's here now, and remaining present after 6:30 in the evening, and aiming lights through on multiple directions into the depths of that store. That's impossible light into the crevices, and that's what I showed you yesterday. Directed light while I open the door inside, directed light while they open the door outside. While the fake sun is present in the morning, that's not the sun, and that's not light activity that would be resulting from sunlight. And what you have is amplified audible activity while that same demon is stalking in the path. Understand? This demon is stalking in the path. 7LMD718. Understand?
Dude, these schizo nibs go so fucking hard. Holy shit! Imagine like, dude, if this was my brain, I just have an aneurysm right now. I couldn't do it. They must be geniuses or something.
We get the silent onlooker, right?
Did we? There is one in this.
All right, and they're doing so in what is directed light.
Wasn't there like somebody
directed light while they're driving by, directed light.
They're running.
Amplified audible activity, and at 9:45 a.m., where I'm at the Montclair Transit Center.
I think that
this
counts
is not
as silent
possibly the sun.
onlooker, I suppose.
That's over my head.
Well, I know there's a lady fueling up right next to her that she stares right at.
The Montclair Transit Center at the same exact time. All right. I'm also documenting the maintenance of the light source directly over my head at 9:45 in what are mutually exclusive locations. You're talking about what is an entirely different city. Maintaining this same central presence, but also as I isolate the POC, I'm here at the same address in the morning. I'm here at the same address in the evening, over 10 to 11 hours later. That is how you're identifying the demon possessed.
That's the onlooker right there.
It does not matter what they're focused on, what they're doing.
Disapproval.
They are stalking. They're doing so in a demonic environment, and they're doing so on additional means of documentation, which is surveillance.
Look at the unfortunate ass on that juggalette.
Stalking at this venue. This is POC. 88KM182 has been engaged in surveillance. All right. This is POC at the 7-Eleven at 204 North Euclid Avenue in Upland, California, where the sun is arising. Okay, this is the sun supposedly that's arriving in alignment with me as I arrive at a later time. Recall my documentation just the other day when I got here an hour earlier.
We document
and I'm already documenting over by the library area, remaining present. This is not the sun. None of that is sunlight. None of this is normal. And this is speaking to what is again federal prison, and this is the entity that engaged in assault with a deadly weapon. 788 exactly the impunity that they act with.
I'm one away.
Again, 5JZT856.
We just need the cops to show up. I'm good.
Sun right over them. This is POC.
What qualifies as food? I've seen her with her shake. She got.
Hold up. Hold up. Stop talking.
Bingo.
It's another schizo. It's like Ashley.
What is you doing?
Who are you walking up on?
What is you doing?
What are you walking up on?
What is you doing? Who is you recording people for?
Who are you walking up on? What are you going to do about it?
Oh my God.
Get your crackhead
Schizo fight.
You're a crackhead.
Physical threats.
No, I don't think so. You're going to federal prison. You're going to federal prison, crackhead. You're going to federal prison. You're going to federal prison. I got you, B. I got it. With the tattoos on your face, where are you from? What sewer are you from?
Happening.
Satan. What sewer are you from? Does that make you gangster? Because if I tossed you up, girl, I know you're not. I know you're not. You're an idiot. You're going to federal prison. You and your overweight minion. These are demons. You're going to federal prison.
These are demons.
You're going to federal prison. Who you prison at? Or what? Or what? You're going to federal prison. You're going to federal prison. You're going. You're going. You're going to federal prison. That's what saying that this is POC.
My God, I got more squares filled up than not.
The entity is monitoring with demons like that. Demons such as law enforcement are monitoring with demons like that. So
that is a video that Europeans will use to make fun of Americans. I'll just say that.
So I didn't quite get my bingo here. I needed cops to get the bingo, and we weren't too far off from that, I don't think. We almost got there. So, Maud, you're the first person to say bingo.
Yes.
Give them to me. What you got?
I got in order, going diagonal, federal prison.
Yep.
says location.
Yep.
Free space.
Yep.
Demons.
Okay.
Mention of gang stalking.
Yep. That's a bingo. Pollock.
He's beat me because I actually put cops because she said police.
No, you actually need the cops
yeah.
there. Mud gets the bingo. He wins.
Did she trip and fall?
She did not trip and fall. That's another rare one. If you get it, it's satisfying, but you're probably not going to get that one.
Trip and fall.
Nor yelling in library. Or
not in this
licensed
video.
music.
Licensed music is actually fairly common in these videos.
Hmm.
You gotta have the Matrix soundtrack in there.
So let's let this play and see if I can still get that bingo if the cops show up.
Oh, you're talking about what is, first of all, that's an assault and battery. While they're engaged, she's throwing ice toward me. And she's engaging what is harassment while I'm showing you what is the POC. This is the personality of Satan, and that is the grounds of federal prison. Let me be clear, all the rest of them as well. 7JMH 739, direct life, they're monitoring. Federal prison, I don't have to know her.
Federal prison,
okay?
federal
They're all
prison.
monitoring together. They're monitoring to the same audible activity. All right, in the same exact environment. And very hostile while I document. They're not separate. 7HALO, the same condition and monitoring with them. All right, you're going to document, and they are going to federal prison for that. 8P97056, the employees inside of the 7-Eleven. All right, covering up the license plate is no form. They're monitoring, group stalking together. All right, let me be clear. Let me get this. Hold on. Oh, covering up the BMW license plate. I'll get that in a second. 8YSZ473. You're
documented. You're all getting brought up
as
baby rapers.
She just.
It's not like has there ever been a video where somebody's drawn a gun on the schizo because like
you don't even need schizos to get guns drawn, dude. You just need like Andy Worski.
Who's explaining?
I got bingo.
There was a big thing where a motherfucker they were out live streaming IRL with some homies.
Yeah.
And like they had the text to speech going. And it was saying the N-word. And some people ran up on him. One of the guys in their group had a gun, and he pulled it while they were live streaming.
You should. That's the thing. If that, like, you are going to be like, especially nowadays, if you have to use a gun or something, and it's against somebody that's like your ethnicity, you are fucked. Like, yeah.
It's a good thing I'm African American and white.
Yes. Yeah. No joke. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, they are not gonna, like, that's unfortunate. Then that's gonna keep like fucking happening.
You know, I'm in a wheelchair. I can't kneel. You know.
I can't kneel.
I can't kneel. That's it. If the roles were reversed and Derek Chauvin was the one yelling, he'd be like, "I can't kneel."
Derek Sheldon, what?
Yeah, that guy.
Chauvin.
Derek Chauvin. Okay, I was like,
Derek Chavez.
Chavez.
There's like an alternate universe where Derek Chauvin's replaced with Maud.
That's true.
So Floyd is still alive in that universe.
No, Maud rolled over Floyd with his wheelchair in that universe.
I forgot the reverse. I did it too slowly. I snapped his neck.
473. You're witnessing what is again an ongoing focus. 8YSC 473 is the license plate.
What makes this worse?
Yeah, I'll say hi to your license plate. What is your license plate? This is POC. 7PJM440. This is POC. These are the weirdos that are Satan of demon possession. And you're paying attention to, again, while you are documenting the pattern of conduct, engaging in what is stalking, while you're revealing what is that demonic POC, that ongoing hostility.
That are Satan.
There's her shit. If you had her personal effects, that gets it.
And that is exactly
it's just
what
like
is
in
the
the
grounds
middle
of that federal prison. So I want to be.
Kay, did you say you had bingo?
Is she like fucking homeless? Like, is she like dragging her shit around with her everywhere?
Oh, looks like it. What's your bingo, Kay?
Oh, well, this one is trips and falls, children. Then we got personal effects. She did just a moment ago. She tripped while reading license plates. So we got points of vehicle, reading license plates, personal effects, children, which we had at the beginning, and trips and falls.
Nice.
Bingo.
Clear. All right, you're witnessing what is demon possession. You're witnessing what is that unfounded hostility by minions. Hold on, let me
camera quality dissolving.
By minions who are hostile to being documented, and they are under what is the direct evidence of that. All right, this is POC. It is. This is the 7-Eleven, and so I want to keep this. I want to keep this content. This is directed light while this minion crosses path. 7 PJM 440. Just like these two hooligans that were right here monitoring group stalking the entire time. Very hostile to the fact that I'm documenting them. That is the conduct. That's the personality of Satan. That's a sex offender. Those minions stalking in bathrooms. Let me be clear. Tracy Randolph, Stephanie Ortiz, okay? They are not separate. I'm giving you examples of the entity that's monitoring through the exact same. There is no pause. There's no separation. They're all monitoring. You have a demon that's engaging in what expressing hostility. They're all equally hostile. They're all of the same condition. And you are generalizing because they're in the same exact environment. That which is not possibly the same.
Let's say this is fight the Freemasonic, Satanic New World Order with.
Let's say for a second, like all this is true, but like, do you really need like 15 people just like monitoring in one area like this?
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so. Especially not for the homeless black lady who just can't stop running her mouth. That's her main problem. Total Tendy says she's reading all those plates. That has to count as docs. I don't know about that. I was hoping she would like read off someone's like name and social security number, because she must do that at some point.
She's good shagging. I'm the cure.
That's true. You boys need to speak up. Some of you boys are too loud. Some of you boys need to speak up because I can't get you any louder.
Who's doing what?
I got you too loud. Flame is way too quiet.
Shit.
What about
shit? All right. So, how about this? What about Chris Chan? Chris Chan has been released from the mental health facility, and now he's back in jail. That would point to great things for the content, like more jail letters and shit. But when you see the picture of him, that's a sad boy. That's an unhappy boy.
Yeah, he don't look too happy. He don't look too.
Put it up. Where's
all right, I forgot to get it ready.
He doesn't look too happy.
I need to look at his
He's a
eyes.
sad boy. Yeah.
Let's find it so I can get this up. But yeah, it's super sad. It's like all of his hope and Goku get him attitude gone.
Yep.
He's not Allah's strongest warrior anymore.
Grim realizations.
It's like, I don't know if that's like the medication they put him on, or if like, because it looks part of like a black eye to me.
Dude, he's being MK'd Ultra.
For the fifth time.
The same thing that happened in 1950 to Charles Manson, they're doing it again. They under the guise of him being in jail, they are doing experiments on him. And he's gonna come out and he's gonna assassinate Joe Biden.
Joe Biden.
Well, that's one idea.
Wake up.
No, he's going to infiltrate the pro-choice protest. Then they're going to hold inevitably at the steps of the Capitol.
To what end?
He will lead the insurrection, the femcell insurrection.
The femcell insurrection. He would be a prophet. The prophecies would come true, and he would be a prophet to the femcells.
So I have that image of Chris Chan on the stream if you're looking at that.
Holy shit.
So this is not... If you look at the previous mugshot, which I'm not going to go out of my way to find, Chris Chan looks very happy to be there. Way too happy to be there. And I was under the impression that Chris Chan's time in jail was like the best time of his life since high school. He loves the structure. He was kept away from all the other prisoners. He felt like he was friends with the screws or whatever the fuck's going on over there. With his fucking prayer rug, playing solitaire on his prayer rug. He had it going on. But then he got sent to fucking the mental hospital, and that wasn't a fun time, I'm sure. Now he's back looking like this. Part of me thinks it looks like he's got a black eye. And I don't know about that. There's a lot of weird things going on in this image. And then somebody said it was an AI upscale. So they basically deep-faked Chris Chan, and I just want to know what's happened. What happened to the real Chris Chan? Where is he?
He's being MK'd Ultra, bro.
He's
they need a deep fake Chris Chan. People just are obsessed with fucking robots.
Sane now. He's jacked, just like Flame.
Dude, they're gonna send they're gonna send Chris Chan to Ukraine.
It's gonna be the super soldier they need to win the war.
They're like, we have this tranny. It's the best of both worlds. He could seduce the Russians and fight them all.
Now, I'm curious what this means for the future. Like, does this mean more fun jail letters? Like, I don't know. Not looking at this picture, I doubt it.
Potentially.
But then it's like they can't just. We were saying this for a while that they couldn't just keep Chris Chan in a mental facility. That's not what they're there for. They don't have the resources to be able to just keep people like that. So it's like what happens next? And I thought they were going to keep him there until he went to trial in the summer. But here he is, back where he started.
Back at I don't know, man. It's a mess. You think he's gonna get more radical?
Radical? What does that even mean in this context?
Well, I mean, like,
what is radical for him?
He's adopted the religious stuff, right? Like, is he gonna get more religious?
Doesn't look like it. Not from this image.
Al-Qaeda. We need to know.
It's more of a question of where does this put him after the jail saga. Like, okay, so homeless, but like sad homeless or like fun homeless.
He's gonna join the alt-right, dude.
That's what he's going to do.
He's gonna run for president.
He's gonna be the next streamer on Cozy TV for Nick Fuentes.
Yeah, he's going to fill the gap between the right and the left. He'll be the newest Lady Maga. He will be what Lady Maga was meant to be.
Finally,
dude, he's gonna have like a show on.
He's going to be
on our old partners shit. Yeah, I don't know if we can name names.
I don't know. You're reaching. You're reaching, dog.
All right, I'll stop.
You know who liked my tweet today?
Who?
Klaus.
Oh, word.
I don't think he knew it was me.
Don't you have a picture of your face on your Twitter?
But I didn't start showing my face until after all of that. So does he really know? Is he that aware? Has he been watching me? I don't know.
Shit.
So we did have Matt back last week, and he's still welcome here. I don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's being a weirdo. I told him I'd help him fix his computer, and I haven't heard back from him. But yeah, we had Matt and Jerry on. Maybe this bodes well. Do you remember when back on the Halloween stream when you smoked DMT on stream and you were like,
I remember that episode.
You were like, bad times are coming for the Skinwalker gang.
Oh no, I was saying in general for humanity, dude.
That's not how I took it. Flame told me that bad things were coming for the Skinwalker gang, and I don't know. He was right. We sat dormant. The homies came and gone, and now they're coming back. Good times upon us. Gathering coming up. It's true. That was our winter.
Dude, only the strong survive, dude. That's all I have to say about it.
That's deep, bro. Trucking Guy says, Chris ascended. Trucking Guy says, he merged. Archandre says, Chris is 40 days in the wilderness. He's Nebuchadnezzar right now. As soon as he's out of...
Who is?
Chris. Chris Chan.
Chris?
As soon as he's out of jail, we gotta fucking try to get him on here. By any means necessary.
Yeah.
Dude, I live... I'm not gonna give a fuck if I dox myself. I live in Virginia. I live in the same state as that motherfucker. I will go to Charlottesville. I will see him.
Charlottesville, Ruckerville.
If you could get some correspondence, and I could.
He's gonna be desperate for correspondence when he's got nowhere to live.
We'll have the
Unite come live with Flame.
Gang rally.
Dude, what if we did like a saga where we helped him get like some house or something?
The last time someone tried to help Chris Chan, he fucked his mom. That's all I'm saying.
We could rebuild him into an alpha.
We fake the entire thing. Here's what we do. We fake that we worship him as a deity. And we we carry him around on a throne.
I'll fake that I'm doing that. Yeah.
I would address him as what's his name, CPU goddess or something.
Jesus Jesus Muhammad Christian Western Sonichu Chandler.
Yeah, we
St.
do
Peter
that.
Goddess Christian Blue Heart.
And we set up a church in Chris's name.
Sounds pretty good.
Yeah,
you
be
realize
charity.
That we're just going to help usher in the Antichrist, right?
Yeah, but instead of like poisoning the Kool-Aid, we all drink lean.
Fago? Love Fago.
Fago and lean.
Yeah, dude. Hell
lean
yeah.
made with grape Fago.
Sounds good to me. What's our next video? What else we got? What other nonsense? Get this bingo card out of here. We're done with that for now. We'll have more soon. Check out this this cool tutorial. Please play. Yes. Hell yeah.
Hey, tutorial heads.
Oh.
Thanks for coming to my YouTube page, Tig.
Hey.
Tutorial. Guess what time it is, YouTube?
Oh, what are you doing?
Hey, that's the
It's tutorial time. So today, it's time to do a YouTube tutorial. And super excited because I love to get when people subscribe and like. So I'm gonna pick the perfect tutorial.
Adobe spooky creature.
today.
Look at that. Holy fuck. That's a real man.
What's it gonna be?
How do you fake something like this?
Today's tutorial.
He's actually walking around.
Pleased to announce that I'm gonna be doing.
I know. Well, yeah, it's normal person can't just walk around with bare feet without worries like that in the woods. Like
silicone and fake skin.
You've never done that? Because that's how I do it.
I was about to say, like, once you get acclimated, it actually isn't that hard.
Yeah, once you get acclimated. I'm just saying a regular person. But I don't know who I'm looking at here. So you're saying
that's not a regular person. Dude, look at his nails.
I know. I hear
his nails are grown out.
Mud, were you saying that this was fake? This dude's wearing a costume.
Yes, it seems like he's
God
wearing
damn it.
That looks like
the
mud.
dream.
That just looks like mud, dude.
When they do like sex scenes in Hollywood and for certain actors, they put a layer of fake skin over their existing skin, so they're not really nude, right? And so it's very possible that he's wearing a nude suit.
Yeah, I mean, it's most likely that this is just a fake video
like a
for
TikTok.
Fun. Yeah, no,
it's
I'm with
entirely possible that this guy is my cousin, and I know where this was filmed.
Dox him.
Can't
do it.
It's against the Skinwalker Code.
We need him.
Your
on
cousin's
the
a
show.
Wendigo? My cousin.
Like I said,
dude.
I need that wind cussy right now.
Wind cussy.
This is part of the Skinwalker Code.
Flame, you're just getting lower and lower.
Okay,
Nobody can hear
you.
This right here is part of Skinwalker Code. I'm about to show you.
Hell yeah.
Today's a tutorial about weather. So today I'm gonna do. Ow. My favorite thing.
He did hurt his
People
foot, so he's
have
not impervious to pain.
holes.
I hate seeing this point of view. Live up again.
Okay.
I love my found footage movies.
Yeah, it sucks when they're walking, right?
This is the tutorial now. This is a can.
What the hell is that?
This is my.
That's a chicken.
My YouTube.
That's a can inside
This is my YouTube account. Tutorial, and Alan Tutorial shows people how to weatherize a hole. So first step in the tutorial, take a weather.
Help me with my RimWorld tutorial. What should I name my
hole?
What should I name my faction?
Oh, I forgot.
Tree hole.
First thing you need is a kind of
Skinwalker gang.
Tree Walker, Skinwalker gang.
Piss time. That do be a spooky video. I enjoy it a lot. I want more stupid TikToks like this, in all honesty. Need that in my life.
You know what they say,
dive deep into the holes.
We all need more holes in our lives.
Any hole's a
You
goal.
know what they say, right? Like, you know what they say, right?
The holes of our lives.
They say you got to become the cryptid you want to see in the woods.
That's true.
I'm already
previously classified documents regarding UFOs have now been released to the public. And some of the stories include alien abductions, electrical paralysis, and even sexual encounters.
Yeah, just some bizarre stuff. Fox 35's William Lajeunesse has the shocking details from this 1,500-page report.
Pilots tracking unidentified objects, balls of light suspended over the ocean, UFOs chasing warships, all part of a growing body of sightings of UAPs, or unidentified aerial phenomena.
My gosh! We're going against the wind. The wind's 120 knots from the west.
Now comes something even more explosive, a 1,500-page Pentagon report of previously classified documents cataloging accounts from witnesses and victims, claiming radiation burns, brain damage, even paralysis after close encounters with UAPs.
This is the most haunting of all the reports from my perspective.
This guy's such a fucking fed. I forget his fucking name, but he was behind like a bunch of those documentaries that were put on Netflix, like the Bob Lazar documentary, the Skinwalker Ranch documentary. Jeremy Corbyn, I want to say Jeremy Corbell. It says it right on the fucking screen. Jeremy Corbell.
He does look very
untrustworthy.
But
yeah, I wouldn't.
He's involved with all of these like soft disclosure media projects that,
like Luis Elizondo, yeah.
Clock right there.
The sunbeams.
Well, not so much like Luis Elizondo.
The sunbeam clock of Logar.
It's true. Yeah, so I don't trust anything this guy fucking says. That's for damn sure. And like, especially when he's involved with like, you know, the second the Pentagon releases some fucking disinfo, this guy's like right on board to talk about it.
It's like, well, it's just it's a trick of the light.
No, this guy's saying that it's fucking real. He's saying that aliens is real.
Oh. And be afraid of them.
But he's like the guy who's not the government source. He's like, I'm just your trusted, friendly filmmaker. I'm not the government. I don't hide this. I tell you the truth. And that's how they present him. And that's what they use a guy like him to give out the exact information that the government wants out there.
Yes.
Because it shows immunological deficiency. It shows altering human DNA. It shows degradation on a cellular level.
Prepared in 2010 by the Pentagon's secret Advanced Aerospace Weapons Program, the report was released only after a Freedom of Information request. It found sufficient incidents, accidents have been accurately reported, and medical data acquired as to support a hypothesis that some advanced systems are already deployed and opaque to full U.S. understandings.
This is from within the documents themselves.
The report says humans have been injured from exposure to UFOs, from abductions and perceived time loss to sexual encounters and unexplained pregnancies.
We're talking about an area where there is intervention with the human being on such a level.
You'd be giving the dudes the alienness.
First of all, they're coping hard as fuck. They just don't know who their baby daddy is.
That's true.
That it's beyond just negative health effects. Some of this stuff is really bizarre.
So what's next? While this program ended in 2010, Corbell says the Pentagon continues to study UFOs, and more military videos and documents are likely to be released this year. No response from the Pentagon. In Los Angeles, William Lajeunesse, Fox News.
Still going with soft disclosure. They're trying to tell you about the things that they already have, like they have like anti-gravity technology or like the weaponization of space, shit like that. They're trying to tell you about these things without admitting that they have them for military purposes or anything like that. They want you to know because you're going to see it. The shit's going to be on video. You're going to know it exists, but they want you confused as to where it came from. The same thing with the abductions. I think this is all like weird MK Ultra stuff, to be totally honest.
Oh, no.
I think that's what Skinwalker Ranch is. I think that's like a place where they fucking test weird things on people. I think that's what goes on there. Because when you hear the stories, like it's not Skinwalker stories. You have some stuff that sounds like that. But then you have ghost sightings and alien stuff, and it all just sounds like general spookiness. But it sounds like shit that's supposed to just like trick their subjects. And it's owned by like an aerospace company that's affiliated with the government.
Well, shit.
Now it is.
It was actually.
I don't know if it was back then.
No, it was actually it was back then. Now some normal ass motherfucker that's like in law enforcement owns it.
At this point, no.
But
Bigelow Aerospace, I'm pretty sure.
I don't know. I just saw an interview about it.
I thought Bigelow Aerospace owns it. Yeah.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, Scar is confirming billionaire who bought Skinwalker Ranch has ties to military companies. That would be Bigelow.
Oh, okay.
A long time ago. Here's the thing. My thing is that all of these Skinwalker Ranch stories, almost all of them, I'm sure there's a few exceptions, but almost all of them are new stories. And even if they're attributed to being old stories, like they just popped up in the age of the internet.
Well, they're saying like the shit is actually quite frequent. Like it's going on. Shit's going on right now. Like
no,
I
heard
what's your
earliest story. Yeah.
What's my source? Like the actual motherfucker that was talking about it like two weeks ago. Like like they do all this fucking there's a lot of shit coming out from there.
Yeah, there was a
go on.
There was a channel that friggin' talked about it, and they had a story from a newspaper in the 40s. The people that owned the ranch before the Shermans. The Shermans were the people that encountered most of the bad shit. They had a story from the newspaper about the same kind of shit, and the story talked about it was like a Men in Black thing, where the rancher that owned it before the Shermans would hear a knock on the door. He would go and answer the door, and there would be a man in black, and he'd be dressed like a government worker, and he would say, "Oh, I'm from such agency. I'm here to inspect how you're keeping your cattle." And he would go, "Oh, okay. The road's right up there. Do you need anything?" And he's like, "Oh, no, I've already looked." And then he said the guy would walk off his deck or whatever, and then walk into the distance, and then like disappear.
No, that's weird.
Yeah.
A lot of the new stuff is sounding like to me it sounds like poltergeist activity going on, which is kind of interesting because like everyone's thinking like, oh, it's like an alien hotspot and stuff, but there's like a lot of shit typically you would find with like ghost hunter bullshit going on out there.
Yeah, for sure. Where the fuck were we?
I think that's where they're gonna keep Christian next.
You're gonna put him at the ranch?
Yeah.
The rest of the fucking creatures.
He'll become the king of them.
They'll all merge inside him. He's going to be a super weapon.
Now for a strange story out of rural Coffee County. Residents there say they've heard unusual animal sounds at night, and several ATV riders say they've seen unusual looking creatures in the distance. Today, Mike Gerspan spoke to a few people who are trying to figure out what is in the forest between Enterprise and New Brockton.
I can just say this. Something's going on in the woods. Something's going on. That's right. Timbuktu.
And of all the millions of sightings and reports,
Joe Blackburn and Tanner Medley work at Bama Slam, an entertainment and recreational venue north of Enterprise. Recently, the two men have received reports from ATV riders of distant sightings of an unusual animal. In addition, folks in the area have heard a loud shriek at night, but it didn't sound like a coyote.
Yeah. We get a lot of feedback from the ATV riders, and one of those recent feedbacks over the last 30 days has been, hey, there's something strange. There's some knocking going on. We hear some screeches. They're not dogs. They're not coyotes. What could it be, right?
And this is not the first time there have been reports of an unusual creature in the woods. In fact, about a decade ago, a crew out of California brought a lot of equipment trying to get a picture in the Asbury community. After reports of a Bigfoot or a skunk ape due to a terrible smell in that vicinity. Despite 3 nights in the forest, they never found any conclusive evidence of a creature.
when you dismiss all the erroneous possibilities, there's little left except some kind of bipedal humanoid ape.
What's going on in the woods right here? I mean, if you hear
Walker gang mercenaries
or a screech, a howl, but that's, I mean, it's not like we have wolves. We have coyotes. It's a very distinct sound.
The men say whatever's in the woods, it seems more frightened of humans. They ask if you've seen something unusual as far as a creature or heard something out of the norm in the woods. Try and use your phone to get a picture or some form of evidence. Covering local news first in Coffee County, Mike Gerspan, WDHN News.
God, I wish that was me out there hunting Bigfoot right now. If only. Leave them alone, Matt, Scar says. So you want to get into? Let's get into some of our cult topics for tonight. We got some cult bullshit. Start out with the black cult. Let's go into this deep dive a little bit. I don't know if you remember a couple weeks ago we had the video of like the weird black cult where the guy had a bunch of black guys. The black guy had a bunch of black guys washing his feet. Do you guys remember that?
Yeah. Yeah.
All right, let's revisit
Paul,
it a little bit.
Peter, John.
Then he's like, I was kings.
Yes.
I was kings and shit.
I was the
That's what he
biggest
said.
kind.
All right, so let's revisit this.
I was the Pharaoh.
Maybe. Can I make it work? Oh yeah.
Speaking of pharaohs, there will be an interactive King Tut expedition.
Interactive? Thank God. It's gonna be like a choose your own adventure story. Don't open the wrong fucking door. You'll be cursed.
No, it's like you can virtually go through King Tut's tomb or something.
Can I fuck with his mummy?
It's gonna be epic. I'm gonna do my.
Hey, give me a tripod.
I'm gonna piss. I'm gonna take a piss in the very chamber.
I'm coming out, man. I'm about to tell people about my real self.
What are you doing?
This is our boy. This is our boy, Three God, Nature Boy. Let's see what we got going on here.
That is not a hat on his head. That's his hair.
And I know that sounds crazy, but it's true. Like
I originally found this guy looking up the subway shooters YouTube videos, and he was somehow affiliated with all of this. I haven't figured out how. But here we have Three God. He is God. He is the leader of this cult.
Not real. What?
Like Three God from Fallout 3.
Yeah, but I can feel how it could be a little bit uncomfortable because you know your family's gonna see this and we coming out. We come.
Oh, okay. You said what? You can look me dead in my eye and feel my hands through the phone. I don't care.
Yeah.
I'm glad I'm in front of how many other people. I'm glad this public. I want it to be known. I want it to be seen. Do it look like I got shame in my game and anything that I do?
Now you definitely professing the kingdom
already,
and it's being recorded
already.
Oh my!
Do you think
God, what's going on here?
Do you think he kisses his cult members goodnight?
I think he does.
Yeah.
You are my God.
Yeah.
Absolute three.
Absolutely. Hey, you my God, I think. You my God.
You my God.
Period.
Period.
That's God, everybody. Kissing his homie.
Right. I'm a pussy. Come fuck me.
Bussy?
I'm a pussy. Come fuck me.
What do you think he's talking about right now?
Big purr.
He's still doing it. I just skipped way ahead.
Transsexual? Yes.
Transsexual?
Yeah. Is he a transsexual? Yes.
So this is from their official account, Carbon Nation, which is the name of the cult. Three God talking about transsexuals and stuff. Apparently I haven't even dug deep enough into this because I have no idea what's going on here. Here is the subway shooter. So this was on his YouTube page, and he put together a bunch of videos of Three God. So he's comparing them to other cult leaders, it looks like here. We'll get into that another time because I didn't even realize
He was on to something, and then
that's why they got him.
Schizo.
That's true. So let's go to the news a little bit and see what they have to say about Three God. Maybe we'll get back to our boy the subway shooter in due time.
New tonight, an accused cult leader denied bond today in DeKalb County as he faces charges of rape and false imprisonment, too.
Police say Eligio Bishop and his followers that they have taken over a home just outside Decatur. But the allegations against him and his group go far beyond that. We have team coverage tonight, starting with Joe Ripley live at the DeKalb County Police Department.
Yeah, good evening, Jeff and Chiba. And it was earlier today when we saw Eligio Bishop appear before a judge for the first time since being arrested earlier this week at that DeKalb County home on charges of rape, false imprisonment, as well as a host of other charges.
You guys are all just talking over all of the fucking content. You're
Let's show
fucking
you
killing
a
me
picture
here.
of that
What
house
do you need?
now. Police arrested him.
What do you need?
Oh, I was about to say like it's not that important.
What the fuck? Thank you for that. Thank you for that. So what were the charges again, Tyrone Lannister? What's up, Flame?
No, I was saying like, what if you just like challenged 3God to like melee combat and just like whooped his ass in front of his cult members?
It'd be like Highlander rules, and then you'd be
yeah. I was about to say like, what, like how much damage? Like I was thinking like the thing that is protecting some of these cult members is that we live in our current society, where like you can't just like fucking decapitate their bitch asses, but like. What if you just like fought them?
You would be the new cult leader.
At that DeKalb County home,
you got
on
fined
charges of
$3.
rape, false imprisonment.
Hold on,
as
rape,
well as a
false
host of
imprisonment.
other charges. Police say they were
trying
tipped
to get
off
the charges
from
here,
social media
dude.
posts. Let's show you a picture of that house now. Police arrested him here at this home in the neighborhood in DeKalb County. I spoke with a member of Carbon Nation. This is the group that Bishop heads. He calls himself, this member, Captain Ace. Ace says the group has millions of followers worldwide and focuses on leading a life of principles and morals. Ace says 14 people stay at that home, professing themselves as Bishop's disciples. He has been with the group about 4 years, says he met Bishop through social media, and tells me Bishop's posts resonated with him. Ace refers to his leader as, quote, God, and denied the allegations he faces, calling his leader's arrest one of the most troubling experiences he's ever had.
I see. In my mind, he's not locked up. In my mind, I keep the thought frequency that he is free. And because I know that where my attention goes, that's where my reality will support.
You hear the word cult.
This is tribulation.
Obviously, in this day and age, you definitely want to do research as to what is going on.
That is Patrick Henderson, a father. You can tell just from his comments, he's very disturbed, concerned by these allegations, as well as this group living down the street from him. He says if you see anything suspicious in your neighborhood, make sure you do your research and report it if it rises to that level of criminality. As for Bishop, he's going to remain in the DeKalb County Jail until Superior Court sets a new court date for him.
All right, Joe. And before Bishop's arrest this week,
So this is a new video. This was only in the past couple weeks that this guy was arrested. And it's weird how it followed up the subway shooter like that, almost like there was some sort of weird connection there that allowed them to get that arrest. Let's go to another video of him real quick. Let's get that 3God in action.
What if you meet a Christian in jail?
That'd be nice.
It could be like a situation that basically because the subway shooter put a spotlight on him, like other motherfuckers.
Yeah.
Like probably law enforcement was like,
yeah,
look at this motherfucker. So he's fucking snitching.
Maybe. Yeah.
Fucking subway.
The black man is God.
The
black
man is God.
The black man is God. The black man is God. Feel my power, black man. This is your power. Come on, let's go. Yes, black man, you are God. I'm here.
Okay.
The black man is God.
By that, he
the black man is.
Like, he gives his. That's a sacrament. The homie's gotta drink his fucking shit.
Drink his poop. His liquid poop.
Oh no.
See, sperm is evil because it's white. Poop is.
Oh. Right.
This is why you see.
And now, this is, and I don't know if my video's out of order or something. They might be. Whatever the fuck. Now, there was a woman that left Canada to go join his cult, and there was a big legal thing about it for a while in Canadian news about trying to get her back to Canada, and while she was in basically like a hostage in this cult, wanting to be there at first, but I think she turned later. But they would travel to South America, to weird South American countries, a lot like Jim Jones tried to do with Guyana or something like that. Just try to avoid the legal system. And she was out there with them. And this is him trying to explain their cult and why she's there.
Some so-called hardware that are lower self with the consciousness, the software of the higher self. That's where you have my friend. And let everybody know your name.
I'm Ray.
Yeah.
Peace Reflection.
Ray. How did
Ray.
you pop up here?
Sun Ray.
Sun Ray. Ray's here.
What do you think she's doing down there?
BBC.
Fucking, they be running that train on that white girl. That fucking 7 out of 10 white, 6.5 out of 10 white girl.
4 out.
6 out of 10. More like 4.5.
Give her 6.
4.5.
4.5.
Like, 4 out of 10.
The girl holding up the camera is way harder than her.
That's true.
Yeah.
Not in his eyes, this is a fucking 8 out of 10, easy.
Yeah, he's like, shit, white girl, shit.
I mean, it's no bunny.
Wait, isn't Nature Boy a prejudice? Isn't he racist? How does he have white people there? Reflection.
How?
This hardware that you are now looking at, this hardware is a mutation hardware from the archetype.
Ooh.
This reflection here is a reflection of that. The original
is Skinwalker
this
Gang agents
hardware
of Yakub?
came out to show everyone and all of their actions.
It's part of the lore.
But not all. And this is where it gets tricky because we're all broken up in all kinds of ways. But no one truly knows what the archetype is anymore. You cannot become the archetype or be the archetype without having the archetype software. So here is one that doesn't have the archetype hardware, but has the archetype software.
She's black
Here
on
is
the
one
inside.
that doesn't have the archetype hardware, but has the archetype software.
It's shaking her head. Yeah, that's true.
That's why that fucking Canadian white girl will be down in South America surrounded by niggas.
She got special inward
I don't know.
inward abilities.
She's looking for Yakub.
Do you think she's taking part in the bathing rituals?
No, she's MOC. She's an agent
A little ASMR for you?
What the fuck?
Oh, we bathing, dog. This is their top viewed video on their channel. They posted this. There is the 3 God TV channel.
Do you think, what if I infiltrated the
Of course this would be the top. I'm starting to see why this is the top viewed video.
This is my favorite part.
Nature Boy.
Dude getting his ass clean.
You better be at the bottom of the creek.
Tarzan boy. Whoa.
The ritual bathing of 3 God and the Carbon Nation.
No,
I've always had this deep connection with nature, and I basically with my life, I set out to pretty much set an example and live the example and be the example of how we should live. And what I realized is that we're not humans. We're not humans at all.
Well, nibbles.
We're infestation. Infestation. That's what we are. We're an infected.
Oh my.
We're an infected.
They are an infection.
In the body.
Must be removed.
In our own bodies. That's what the earth realm is. Life. We are inside of our own bodies.
Nature
Each
Boy.
individual holographically. Go ahead.
I want to talk about the girl that we know as Kayla now. How is she? Is she safe? Is she healthy?
I don't know a Kayla.
Sunray.
Sunshine.
Oh, Sunray. Yes, she is healthy. She is beautiful. Oh my.
Healthy.
Sunray is just. She is the happiest that she says she's ever been. And she's absolutely loving life. And she did a video recently on. We all encouraged her to go live so that people wouldn't be so worried about her. We all encouraged her to just go live and let people know that you're okay and speak your own mind and tell them what's going on, because she's actually afraid of the people that she ran away from. And I can't blame her, but
this guy's a lot like Ethan Ralph. This is how Faith got over to fucking Virginia to hang out with Ethan. It's the exact same thing, and Ethan is just as black.
So
he's twice as funny.
Ethan will have his equivalent of the Stone Age Venus figurine someday.
Ethan is the Venus figurine.
Yeah, but are we gonna construct a giant one?
Okay. So Kayla finally says she's coming home. So this is all stuff from the past. This is before he got busted for fucking imprisonment and rape and all that.
So, yeah, I'm going back to Canada mainly because
Look at that fucking dead-eyed stare. All of her enthusiasm and optimism gone.
It's the kratom.
The 1,000-cock stare.
Jaded.
Yeah.
Looking like Chris Chan after getting shipped back to jail.
of the safety of us, I don't want anybody getting hurt because I'm here. So
like
I'm
yourself?
gonna go back there for now.
They're literally afraid of a new Jonestown, where like the senators will come and to check on him and get like blasted.
Until I get things straightened out.
Oh yeah, he probably learned the lesson from that. He's like, yeah, you gotta go.
And the beings that
I already dumped 100 raw loads in you, just like Ethan Ralph.
one didn't want any contact with. I didn't want any contact with them anymore. Like they are still being possessive over me.
Like, so why did you leave in the first place?
We can't own.
Why did you leave in? Why don't you tell them why you left in the first place? Did I call you like, hey, come join us, be here with us? Am I controlling or manipulating your mind?
I was gonna leave Canada even before I found nature. So
he has a lot of charisma.
You actually tried to, and
that woman
I just felt like I belonged here. That's why I
zero.
came here. Like my heart.
Total Tendy says, gotta get the Archetype DLC.
Family, so that's why I came here.
That's correct.
I was gonna go. I had plans.
I fucking hate that pronunciation.
It's bad.
It's fucking driving me insane.
So I got put on pills because I want to leave.
So
get that bitch back on pills. Come on now. Alright, so here we have fucking... This is actually pretty funny. Here is, like, the cops coming to Three Gods' residence for some fucking reason. I don't know why, but this is what they encounter.
Like, on the radio, they were like, we got a bunch of
Come on, turn down for a little bit. They walk in, they start blasting Men in Black, which I think is actually pretty funny. So it's like calling them glowies to me. It's fucking awesome.
Who lives here? Whose house is this?
Me.
I'm sorry?
I'm the owner of that.
What's your name?
Did I do something wrong?
No, I'm just asking your name.
I don't want to give you my name. Okay. You have a nice night. Yes, this is my house. Well, listen, I want to understand why you giving me that energy though?
I'm not. I'm just asking the question.
Well, I don't want to tell you my name. I open my door to you so you can come in.
That's fine. That's perfectly fine. Nobody said you had to.
Okay. Well, why don't ask me my name?
Confused as to why they don't want the BBC.
Imagine telling a cop about energy. Like, yeah, cops just exist on bad energy. Like, that's 100% their job.
Makes sense.
Fucking hate those guys. So I'm starting to take Three Gods' side at this point. I can't stand cops.
I'm not disrespecting your authority. I'm just saying that you're breaking my rights. I'm in my home.
No, really.
You're not even supposed to be in my home.
You invited me.
I invited you in. Exactly. That's my point. I invited you in. So don't harass me. I'm showing you everybody's safe.
No, sir.
Okay, all right. Just don't harass me. Because I keep calling the cops over here, and I'm tired of this shit, man. This is my life. I pay taxes. Y'all work for me.
Sir, I'm not harassing you.
No, I let you in the show to everybody. Don't ask me my name. Okay? And listen. Everybody here is safe. Would you like to walk around the house? I let you in my house, and listen, I let you in to let you know nothing was going on.
This wise old woman standing there next to him.
She's like, speak, brother.
Yeah, dude, I like her.
That's a courtesan.
It's true.
His second wife.
Oh, nice.
Are you sure that's not about a bitch?
I know you didn't.
Okay, so don't ask me my name.
So I'm asking your name instead of coming fairly.
No, I don't want that. Don't ask me my name. I'm the one that you work for.
Oh, yeah.
You work for me.
I work for the state.
No, you work for the state, and I pay taxes, so I pay your bills.
Have a nice day, sir.
Okay, have a nice day.
Got him! Get the fuck out of here! You work for me! It's awesome.
Fuck out of here, man.
Then he turns around, and this is what they fucking walked into.
What the fuck?
a semicircle of like black dudes all wearing black. Dude.
Turn that shit up, man.
That's true.
House looks dope as shit though.
Yeah. Yep. A very nice living.
So this is the next time the cops show up. This is the most recent time.
Everybody 3 feet. Everybody 3 feet. 3 feet. Everybody right here.
Bang, 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 bang.
We're good. We're good.
Oh, this fucking bullshit coming out.
Like, what the fuck? Give my wallet. Give my wallet. My phone. My wallet. They breaking the door open. Yo.
Jesus.
We're good. We're coming out. We're coming out. We're good. We're coming out. No need to break anything.
Great video quality. Love it. Phone on the ground. We got the baby. Don't hurt the baby. Don't break the fucking door down. I'm coming out. You can charge me with rape.
Don't shoot.
Don't shoot. Breathe.
Don't shoot before I rape everybody.
Can you please put the...
Cool sword animation. What platform is this? Jesus fucking Christ.
It has to be like some Asian bullshit for like all this extra bullshit going on.
Fine, sir. We don't want no problem.
We good.
This is sad. It's sad that this is the only source we have for this.
He's on Bigo.
The fucking helicopter is involved.
Trying to make a run for it.
Yeah, dude.
Oh, did you see that phone number? Replay that shit. Let's call it.
What phone number?
Go back to the phone number that was calling 3 God.
You can't call 3 God. 3 God is in fucking prison for rape and false imprisonment.
No, we could call Jimmy.
I have a feeling this phone number is good.
Jimmy. Yeah, we could call Jimmy, who was calling 3 God.
Yeah.
It's like, tell me what you know about 3 God, Jimmy.
He'll be a skinwalker soon.
This ain't nothing. Whoa. Leave the phone alone. Leave the phone.
I'm reaching, man. Leave the phone alone. Put your hands where I can see them.
Somebody mentioned David Koresh specifically.
Someone in the chat he's saying please to that white man.
Man, we ain't.
No.
Wait. Is everything okay?
Where's the baby at?
The baby's right here. Sir, is everything okay? Is everything okay, sir? We don't have no weapons.
No weapons.
No weapons, sir.
Don't got it.
Oh no, I'm such an idiot, dude. This is the guy that's watching his stream. That's just probably just some man.
Oh, we don't got no weapons.
Hey,
this is extreme.
Jimmy.
Yeah, but invite Jimmy on tape eater.
I ain't getting Jimmy on. I ain't ever getting Jimmy on.
Y'all know we don't have weapons, right?
We don't got no weapons in this house.
And that's how 3 God got busted, everybody. Nobody got shot, but I thought it was a good update because people were so curious about the black cult that we were showing.
Damn,
and I was too.
I bet if they were white, they would Wacode that shit.
You know what? I have more fucking videos. I thought that was it. I got more videos.
Developing tonight, an accused cult leader is in jail facing several charges. His name is Eligio Bishop. He's known as Nature Boy. According to DeKalb County jail records, he's charged with rape, false imprisonment, and sending sexually explicit messages without the consent of the person in the picture.
Revenge
Bishop
porn.
and the followers of the Carbon Nation cult have a reported history dating back several years. New tonight at 11, a former member is speaking to Paula Suro about the time with the group, and Paula is joining us live in the DeKalb County jail where Bishop is being held right now.
Yeah, Jennifer, you know, Erica Carroll tells me she is glad Bishop is behind bars tonight. She tells me she believes that him being in jail is only going to help open the eyes to the current members of Carbon Nation.
What would you call it? A group? A cult? Would you call it a cult? I call it a cult now, yes. Yes, I do.
A Facebook post convinced Erica Carroll to move from New York to Honduras in 2006 to embark on a life-changing experience. One where she was told she'd be able to build a new community, eat vegan food, and be in touch with nature.
It was just
That's
in
like
a
a
place
6
in
out
my
of
life
10.
where I was just searching for
She was dumpy.
The group back then was
That's
known
why
as
they
Melanation.
had to
Carroll
kick
says
her
it was
out.
led by Eligio Bishop, who went by Nature
It was
Boy.
like, you know
She
what,
says
you-
all 9 of
Chad
them were forced to
only.
sleep in tents, use restrooms
Yeah,
outside,
Chad's and
and attend
Stacy's
long
only.
meetings to, quote, face your demons.
It was a lot of verbal and mental abuse.
But after 1 year, what got her to leave was when she says she witnessed Bishop hit his girlfriend at the time.
He slapped her up and punched her a couple of times, and then he told her to go in the tent and give him
hay.
oral sex. So that was the breaking point for me.
But walking away, she realized was
Yeah,
easier
because
than
she
going
wasn't
back
getting
home.
that.
I had
She
to
wasn't
check
getting
myself
that
into a
treatment.
couple of hospitals and get my mind right. I was seeing spirits. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I'm saying? Like I was going through a lot, and it was all connected to him though.
Carroll says since leaving in 2007, the cult, now known as
She can barely walk
Carbonation,
up the
turned
damn
more
stairs.
abusive and sexual. She says for some, it wasn't
No
just easy
wonder
to
they
leave.
told her
He has the
to
women
split.
fighting each other. He's put his hand on the men. He always said that he wanted like a lot of wives, like he want 10 wives.
He's had a history of
Understandable.
charges before his arrest this week.
But she
Carroll
wasn't
remembers
chosen.
being in
Well,
Costa
I
Rica
want
when she
10
says he was
wives.
accused of kidnapping a Canadian woman who was staying with them. Now, Carroll tells me she has been in touch with Bishop since leaving the cult in 2007. She tells me she even had a feeling he was going to get arrested soon and texted him just days ago telling him, "Your days are numbered." Jennifer?
Your days
Wow,
numbered.
Paula, thank you so much for that update. Like we have said, this investigation
very
into
much for
Bishop
that update.
and this reported
One more. One more. Let's see.
That's what I call news.
2 more. Let's
And
see.
tonight with a story you'll only see on 11 Alive. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Jennifer Bellamy. The wife of a reported cult leader wants to tell her side of the story. Eligio Bishop, also known as Nature Boy, remains behind bars tonight, facing charges that include rape. 11 Alive's Paula Storm just finished speaking with his wife, and she joins us live at the DeKalb County Jail where Bishop is tonight. Paula?
Yeah, Jennifer, after 3 years of knowing each other, Velvet Marquez tells me Eligio Bishop forced her to marry him. Why? She says that he'd tell her that she'd then be forced to bail him out of jail if anything were to happen to him. And of course, today, something quite opposite is happening. She's telling us her side of the story.
I feel that now looking back, I feel that I fell in love with an idea because he pretended to be someone that he wasn't.
Behind this smiling face, Velvet Marquez faced her hardest years next to
I
Eligio
can fix
Bishop.
her.
He literally held me hostage. He took all of my identification, my passport, my birth certificate, my social, my bank cards, everything, you name it, medical documentations.
She says Bishop, the leader of the so-called cult, Carbonation, went from spoiling her to abusing her when she got pregnant.
I was forced to engage in sexual activity that I did not want to do. I was still strangled on multiple occasions. So I had to willingly engage in these sexual activities because of to keep myself safe. He would abuse me in front of the women.
She had their daughter in 2019, and a year and a half later, she says he forced her to legally marry him in a Las Vegas chapel.
There was no medical attention given to us. So when I actually went into labor, I had to be rushed to the hospital 2 hours away.
For years, the cult would drive and settle across Central America. Velvet says Bishop lived off of other members' PPP loans and life savings. She gave him her $3,000 college fund, while others gave tens of thousands of dollars.
Damn.
Well, he was asking in the original video we saw, like, how much did you give me? They'd be like $50,000, $60,000, shit like that. It's like unbelievable that he could be getting that kind of money for what? For like, I don't even know. He doesn't even. He's like kind of charismatic, but like no more than like your average rapper.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like,
they had like their followers have to be extremely like low. I'm not intelligence probably. Like I'm not trying to be disparaging.
maybe this is like the middle ground where like I feel like it's very similar to what like new age bitches find themselves in. They're like intelligent enough to make their own choices, but not intelligent enough to make the right choices. And like that's where you find yourself in middle land. Is like you're looking for answers, but you're going to take the easy way out, not even realize you did it. I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, I hear you on that.
And after 4 tries, she successfully ran away with her daughter with no money but hope.
My child is important. I don't understand how anybody could leave their child to be with him or to go live with him.
Now, Velvet tells me she has since received death threats from Eligio and that he even showed up to her family's home in Louisiana just months after she ran away. Jennifer?
Paula, do we know, did she ever try reaching out to law enforcement?
She tells me she did, but it was very hard to track him down because he moves so often running away from law enforcement. But of course, now he is behind bars. Now, we also did speak to a former cult member, and we have her side of the story as well on 11alive.com. Jennifer?
All right, Paula, very involved story here. Thank you so much. Now, we have been following the story.
That's the story of Three God. Now you have the backstory and the update on this weird black cult. Wasn't gonna let you down.
Dude, this is some good content. Yeah.
Yeah, I haven't heard about it anywhere else, and like I feel like I like to think I'm the cult guy. Like if there's a fucking hot new cult, I'm aware of it. Now we are.
What do you know? What do you know about Falun Gong? Because they're pretty big.
Not much. Which one is that?
Is that the Chinese?
Oh, come on!
Is that not Happy Science or something?
Yeah, no,
it's way bigger than Happy Science.
Yeah, it's a Chinese cult.
What do they do? They got their Jesus.
They're persecuted by the government, but apparently they're supposed to be pretty based, right?
They're in a propaganda war with the Chinese government, and they do some serious brainwashing, and it looks like they're affiliated with the American intelligence agencies. And
really,
yeah.
But like their message seems pretty like benevolent.
I like a lot of their stuff. Don't get me wrong.
Friendly.
But I think they're a bunch of insidious double dealers.
Yeah, I mean,
I wouldn't trust them at all.
The West has every interest in Western spirituality pervading China. They want that. That's like a big boon to their propaganda. So they want more Christianity, but random cults are just fine too. As long as it's destabilizing their culture.
But isn't it very? I don't know too much about it, but isn't it like
Falun Gong is basically a Qigong cult. So what was going on is like after the Cultural Revolution, religion was basically illegal and martial arts was illegal, right? And that left a big vacuum in Chinese culture because people in China are super fucking spiritual. And if we look at history, right, like they got all the shit we got elsewhere. Right? They got kung fu and like internal alchemy and all that shit. So that became illegal with communism, and so it all went underground. But then in like the 80s, they sort of like opened up a little bit in society, and so in the 80s and 90s there was what they call the Qigong Boom. So like all these people started doing these Qigong like energy work, and like martial arts Qigong, scholar Qigong, spiritual Qigong, and so these Qigong movements became really popular, and the Qigong masters know how to do like feng shui and divination and healing. And I read some CIA declassified files on the CIA archives about it, and the Qigong masters are really popular with the Communist Party members, right? So then Qigong became a major force within the different factions in the Communist Party. And some of these guys like Wang Liping, maybe I got the names wrong. It's like Wang Liping,
Ching Chong, whatever, dude. We get it.
There's this dude from the Dragon Gate sect, and he taught 2 dudes who became really influential. One of them used to be a leader of Qigong like corporation that was politically influential in it's a lifestyle corporation that was politically influential in China, and the other was Li Hongzhi, the leader of Falun Gong, who started a similarly and actually more influential Qigong lifestyle movement. And the difference between his and the other guys is his was all for free. Like you don't pay anything to join. You just give them all your stuff. So it's completely free. You don't pay to join. You just, once you give them all your stuff, they tell you that the leader is God or something like that, right? So the leader guy, he teaches you the 5 exercises and to meditate, and it's good for your health. But then the more you get into it, the more he's like, no, that's not the main thing. The main thing is you got to read these brainwashing books. And yeah, so it goes from there.
Oh, I just took the nastiest kratom shot of my life, dude. That thing was gross.
What brand? What brand was it?
It's an MIT 45. Oh, it tasted so bad.
Ooh.
That's how you know it works.
Like the worst it tasted.
According to the Communist Party itself, like something like 60 or 80 million Chinese people, maybe even 100 million Chinese people, were doing Falun Gong exercises like every day and meeting in public parks. And that's when the government got a little bit like scared, you know, because there's like 1 billion people in China, and then 100 million of them are doing these exercises. Like shit.
Okay.
So then,
let me get this straight for some context. So like, these are a bunch of people that are doing like the hand movements in the middle of the park, and they're like, "Oh shit."
Yep.
They're like, "Oh shit, dog."
They got a charismatic leader, and they're like a religious cult, but not a. They keep saying they're not a religion.
But Flame, what is your problem with fucking kung fu practices? Or whatever.
Oh, there's not a problem with kung fu.
No, Flame's over here being like, "Oh, they're just swinging their arms around and being like, oh shit." What does that mean?
Dude, so like the fucking. I'm talking about like what is it, the quad chi, like chi movements? Is that what we're talking?
Qigong.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Qigong chi means energy, and then gong means work. So energy work.
I think there is definitely something to that Tai Chi shit. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and say it's like a viable fighting, style.
No, it's not meant for fighting. But
well, there's different kinds of Qigong, right? So there's scholar Qigong that increases your brain power. There's spiritual Qigong that makes you more spiritual and gives you psychic powers. There's like health Qigong to increase your longevity and give you more energy. And then there's martial Qigong and other specialized forms of Qigong that like help you to harden your body and make you able to punch harder.
This is why Qi and prana from like, the Hindu type persuasion.
Same thing.
Exactly. All these things are accomplished as siddhis in Hinduism via work with prana, which they say is the breath, but not the physical breath. It's something deeper that's hard to translate into English.
Well, Qi is the breath, and it's more than the breath. It's also like the blood flow and the lymph and the breath and the vital energy of the body, but then it's a more subtle thing as well.
Right.
The astral plane, psychic energies and all that. What do you say?
Sufism has a similar thing where we call it the breath.
So essentially,
breath and air.
And I have like images of like the breath of God, like in the Bible, the breath of life.
Pneuma.
Right.
Like God, the creative force, and that the force that has a rhythm at all times, just like every part of your body has its own rhythm, from your heart to everything.
Yeah.
It is that almost that rhythm, that energy, that subtle force that drives everything.
Yeah, so Qigong was really influential in Chinese culture. They got all these different schools of like exercise and stuff, and they have different philosophies, and it's been on the go for millennia. And the Communist Party became afraid when hundreds of millions of people, well, not hundreds of millions, but like over 80 million people, 80 million people were all doing the same exercise form, and they all have the same charismatic leader, and they don't charge money to learn your exercise or like read their books, and then they go international. And so in the 90s, the government kind of said, okay, no more government funding. You're not government sanctioned anymore. And then some more pressure came down on them for them to like, I can't remember all the details. Basically, there was more pressure on them. And then they did this big public demonstration where like 20 or 60,000 of them went to Beijing and stood in front of one of the government buildings, and then the government was like, no, now this is illegal. Now you guys' thing is illegal. So then Falun Gong became illegal in China, but they were already international at that point. So then the leader fled to New York, and now they're really influential in conservative American politics.
I have heard of these guys. Yeah.
Because they got their newspaper, the Epoch Times. They got their media branch, the New Tang
so
Dynasty.
What is their
which has
eschatology or whatever? What is their end times scenario? They've got to have one, right?
Basically, they believe that the world is being invaded by aliens. They're reptilians. They look like humans, but they have a bone in their nose that makes them alien. They have a large bone in their nose. No, a large nose bone. They have a large nose bone that, see, ordinary humans don't have nose bones, but reptilians have these bones in their nose that make them reptilians. And they are invading Earth. They want homosexuality and cloning and computers.
You know what's weird? I think I had an Epoch Times left in my fucking driveway before or something.
Oh, they give it away for free, and they also try to get you to go to their Shen Yun performances, which are like Chinese ballet.
I was like, what the hell is this? Yeah.
With
I gotta cut in. Chat's calling me a fucking 2003 skinhead with this fucking haircut, and I gotta tell you, this is just what Polish people look like when they shave their heads.
That's just what we look like.
If Polacks shave their heads, this is how we look. We look like your generic skinhead every time. Exactly.
Quarterva.
What kind of haircut you got, Polak? Just out of curiosity.
I shave my head too.
Shaves his head. That's what we do.
I fucking hate paying for a barber. I don't want to pay for a barber. It's
neither.
Scar
$40.
Scar in the chat says, "What? What is he talking about?" It's a fucking a cult that has kind of infiltrated conservative politics in America to a certain extent. See, they're very subtle. Like, you have a name I can't understand. You have very vague beliefs, and it's like it's kind of impenetrable. And I guess that's why they get away with the infiltration.
No, it's not vague. It's what it is it's double dealing. See, they say one thing and then they do another, and like they got a bunch of like little fronts that look like businesses that pretend to not be associated with Falun Gong. Like Epoch Times used to like outright deny that they're associated with Falun Gong, and China Uncensored used to outright deny that they're associated with Falun Gong, and like a bunch of different brands. Like they have like beauty brands that talk about skincare products, and like I'm pretty sure they have this thing called the Beauty Life, and they had a bunch of stuff that at one point they were saying that Donald Trump is a god, and that you need to vote for Donald Trump to save the fucking planet from the gays and the race mixers.
Got him.
They also believe race mixing is bad, but it's okay for their cult members to have race mixed children if they had them already, because their leader can make it so that they can go to the ancestral paradise anyway, but normally your race mixed child can't go to ancestral paradise, which is why you shouldn't ever race mix.
Yep. That's all convoluted and weird. And
it's extremely convoluted and weird. I read a bunch of their books. It's out there.
What is the ancestral paradise? Is it like Chinatown?
Depends on your ancestors.
Yeah, it's Chinatown in the sky. It's Chinatown in the sky.
All right. Yeah. Fucking.
I wouldn't mind that.
Where do we get?
It's just normie content.
Jake in the chat says race mixers get grandfathered in.
I tell you what,
this is the perfect compromise for the ethno state. We figured it out.
They grandfathered in. That's funny.
That's right. They do be super afraid of like kitsune and like weasels and shit.
I'm afraid of those.
Like too. Fox spirit, weasel spirit, they're afraid of that.
Yeah, but when I read their newspaper or whatever, all it was like normie conservative takes. Like
that's right.
That's how they get you.
Yeah, that's how they get you. They pretend it's all very normal, and then you're just doing these exercises in the park for your health.
Subscribed to the Epoch Times for a while. She thought the Epoch Times was going to expose COVID.
Fuck no.
You think was she doing like the chi exercises?
She wasn't.
Like, harnessing her.
She was doing kegels.
She was like harnessing her chakras to do shadow moon jutsu.
No, they don't do chakra stuff. They specifically do not do chakra stuff. They actually explain a bunch of retarded theories about why they don't do chakra stuff.
But what's the reason behind it?
I can't explain it, but basically a chakra is a bomb, okay? A chakra is a bomb. That's all you got to know. And when you spend all your time meditating on chakras, you actually don't get anything. This is according to their doctrine. Like, so you meditate on your chakras, you really don't get anything because all you're doing is collecting energy into a little bomb. And when the bomb finally explodes, it's just going to like clear open some of your channels temporarily. And then that channel will be open and functioning for a little while. So that's really useless, and you shouldn't do that. What you should do is you should let Master clear your channels and install some special channel ramrods, some Chi-Gis, some energy mechanisms that ram rods through your holes.
All right,
that's not very base.
Talking about weird cult shit, maybe we can finally move on to Scientology. That thing we were talking about, we were going to get to it for weeks now. You never know.
Scientology.
Are we gonna?
It's kind of get to.
Are we gonna do a Skinwalker Gang infiltration documentary?
Scientology? Are you going to be the one who goes in?
I'm not going in alone. What do you guys got? Yeah,
come
on, dude. We gotta go.
I'm pretty some random Cuban guy in 11th grade said I had a nice ass.
Nice.
The scapegoat.
All right.
I'm pretty sure I can seduce Tom Cruise.
Let's listen to L. Ron Hubbard talk about Scientology. What is this crap? Scientology is the fastest growing religion on Earth. In just over 50 years, the works of one man ignited a movement represented in thousands of churches, missions, and groups across more than 150 nations. That man is L. Ron Hubbard, and what you are about to see is his only filmed interview.
What? I know that's a lie.
Chris Chan is L. Ron Hubbard.
Chris Chan is Star Wars.
L. Ron, Chris Chan, Hubbard, Sanachu. Blue Heart, CP. An introduction to Scientology.
Mr. Hubbard, many millions of words have been said and written about Scientology, but I think there's still quite a lot of doubt in many people's minds as to exactly what it is. What is Scientology? How would you describe it?
Well, it's very interesting. You've just asked a question like, what are the contents of the Encyclopedia Britannica? Answer in one word.
Well, Mr. Hubbard, it's obviously something that's very wide-ranging. And if you can't describe it overall, perhaps we can begin at the beginning. How did you get into Scientology? How did it all start?
Well, that is fairly easy. When I was a very young man, I spent most of my teens in Asia. And that is an area of the world where human misery and want are very visible, where man has reached perhaps the lowest states of degradation. And a young man moving into that scene begins to ask the question, why? Why all this? Why? What is this? What depths can man fall to? And what is he anyway? And I began to ask this question, what is man? And I found, oddly enough, that nobody could tell me what man was. What did he consist of? Where was he going? What was he doing? I became very fascinated with this particular line of research, and I made it my life's work.
Did you read widely of philosophy?
Yes, but the philosopher, of course, has spent most of his working years in his ivory towers, and he was pretty insulated from life. To really know life, you've got to be part of it.
That's pretty rich to hear from Scientology, like in 2022. The ivory towers thing, because now they have the ivory towers, most definitely. And it wasn't always like that, and I wish I could get a perspective on early Scientology before all the money was made. I don't know.
Like, I wish someone wrote a book.
Pretty hot take.
There is a book on it. It's called Battlefield Earth.
Gotcha. But Yeah, I don't know. I read Dianetics a long time ago. I don't remember much of it, but what I did gather was that it seems like it's just Eastern mysticism, basically. Just like way more dry and like fake science-y.
Ew.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
You must get down and look. You must get into the nooks and crannies of existence. You have to rub elbows with all kinds and types of men before you can finally establish what he is.
And you in fact did this?
Yes, I've slept with bandits in Mongolia, and I've hunted with pygmies in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, I have studied 21 different primitive races, including white race.
Got him!
And my conclusions were that man, regardless of his state of culture and so forth, was essentially the same, that he was composed of, he was a spiritual being, and he was a spiritual being that was pulled down to the material, the fleshly interests, to an interplay in life that was, in fact, too great for him to confront. And I concluded finally that he needed a hand.
Now, what was the first step in the formulation of Scientology?
Can you imagine
what was the first piece of knowledge?
Handy from L. Ron Hubbard?
Getting what? Getting a handy from him?
Yeah.
No.
Why? How would you imagine that?
Give me a
Why
hand.
would you imagine that?
He's freeing me in my fleshly prison.
Finally.
Yeah, dude, he the way he talks, like his lips be throwing me off.
Yeah,
Like,
he's got a very distinct way of speaking. It's almost hypnotic. In some of these audio clips, I'll play another one. It's like really interesting just listening to him talk. He's got a really, really good like speaking voice, and it's not like refined or anything, but it's just really good. It's really
It reminds me of the fat bastard.
He does. Holy shit.
From Austin Powers? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
That you uncovered.
Well,
That's how I
is an interesting
understood
question.
Scientology.
Because when I first entered a university, I took science and mathematics. I was forced to take this rather than philosophy, which was my natural bent. And I learned the rules of logic and the scientific approach. These things, by the way, are not generally known to philosophers. And my first effort was to find a common denominator to all men. And I had seen him in his more primitive states, and I'd seen him in his highly cultured states. And I said somewhere one can isolate a common denominator that embraces all men. And perhaps from that we can unlock this riddle.
That almost sounds Masonic to me. It seems to me that he's alluding to like the man in the clear, as what they call it, like the enlightened man who's free of all the demons and attachments that the soul has. But it also reminds me of like squaring the circle in Freemasonry. When he's trying to find that you know, I don't know what exactly he's saying. I feel like he's saying like the perennial man, like the truth that is in every man almost. And when you embody that, and to him that would be in the clear. You have been fully audited of all of the attachments you have, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
The incarnate man, the perfected form.
Total Tendy says he did live on a ship for a while. That's a whole other story. The Sea Org, which I didn't really prep, but allegedly he was taking people like on a ship, the Scientology ship, and they would be like the crew on the ship, and they would sign off on like billion-year contracts or something.
Well,
and then there was a lot of stories about children on the ship and being abused.
Well, that doesn't surprise.
No,
he vented. I bet he vented.
So, like, did he write up these tracks himself? Like, he's obviously kind of mad or sociopathic.
Yeah, it's a science fiction deal. It's the whole science fiction story, but it like kind of adopting Eastern religion is how I see it. Because the whole time you're trying to get rid of your attachments to the world to become this enlightened being. But it's all wrapped up in this weird science fiction stuff. And if you read Dianetics, it's pretty tame. It doesn't go into Lord Zeno or anything like that. But it's definitely science fiction-y. And then, the things they say behind closed doors, who knows? There's whole documentaries about it. Whole interviews with people who can talk about it. But it definitely seems to have a lot of aliens. There's the story of Xenu, who was the ruler of a planet with a bunch of, criminals of their alien race or something like that. And he brought them here to Earth and threw them in a volcano. And when that happened, all their souls escaped and attached themselves to the monkey creatures that were on Earth. And that became us. So when they audit you, they're literally trying to get those demons off your monkey. You know what I mean?
I do, but then what happens with the monkey at the end once it's demon free?
Well, then it is a bodhisattva.
But I thought it was operating Thetan, and I don't know what that is.
Yeah, well, I think that is the Thetan. I think is your soul. So it's like what power level your soul is at. Is I think how that works.
Over 9,000.
Yeah, because it's got like a Masonic fucking like secret society tier, or what the fuck is it? Like a different levels.
Grade system.
Yeah, they got a whole fucking thing, and you go through like OT 1, 2, 3, whatever the fuck, until you get to clear, which means you are free of demons. You're basically a saint, capable of all things.
Sounds good to me.
Yes, it does. I had a friend, I've told the story before, but probably not in a while. I knew a guy who was a fucked up alcoholic. I shouldn't even call him a friend because he was a fucking scumbag. I just happened to be around him sometimes. But this guy, he was sent to a Scientology rehab place because it was cheaper. And he had already been to rehab a bunch of times. The dude was like 40 years old, so it's not like he was fucking new to the thing. His family wanted to get him help. They sent him to the cheaper place. It was a Scientologist place, and they did fucking weird things. Really fucking weird things. Like, they would have you... One thing was, he would say they would all sit around, and they would take turns reading one sentence from Through the Looking Glass, or Alice in Wonderland, you know what I'm talking about. One sentence from it, and they're supposed to make it sound like it's an original thought coming from their mouth. Do you know what I mean? It's supposed to sound like it's them saying it.
That's a cult exercise.
Right? It absolutely is. And they would take turns doing that, and it was only when the guy who was in charge of it, who was fucking the head Scientologist, when he said that was good enough that you got to leave. And sometimes they'd be in there for hours, he told me.
Yes.
They would have a lot of saunas. They would go into saunas a lot to detoxify themselves, which
that's good.
Yeah, it's not a big deal, but the amount they were doing, they were actually, another thing he said was they were pumping themselves full of niacin. They were taking shitloads of niacin first, then going into the sauna. That sounds very uncomfortable. If you take too much niacin, your skin gets all fucking blotchy and red and hot and tingly. It's really uncomfortable. Itchy as fuck.
Oh.
Yeah, it's weird, but what else was there? They would sit across from one another and just stare at each other in complete silence, looking at each other in the eye, like a foot apart, and do that for hours.
Mm-hmm.
So it was all stuff that sounds like weird MK Ultra shit. But then when you apply that to the way you actually see Scientologists act, in a lot of these exposés on them, they'll have them coming up and causing trouble, trying to bait violence or something like that. They've always got this really calm way about them. And it's because they practiced weird shit like this. That makes them so comfortable trying to bait people. He actually had a term for it it was called bull baiting. I don't know if that's an official Scientologist term or not, but that was something he was using while he was going through all of these things in rehab. He came out twice as psycho as he was as when he went in.
So this bull baiting is the purpose of this is to get physical,
to sue people. I think to sue people,
and that's how you win.
I think that's the purpose. Ultimately, there might be some other reason to do it. I don't know exactly.
PR.
I don't know. I think, you know, you could probably sell a Scientologist on it like you want to be as confident as possible when you were debating people. Everybody will say it's wrong. They'll tell you it's a cult, and you have to be confident enough to look them in the eye, you know, and fucking do that. Have that conversation.
And then repeat a phrase that everybody and you all said hundreds of times while in a room together and make it sound like an original thought.
Because you have to sound like you believe what you're saying. You have to be someone who can represent Scientology so that they can maximize their profit. And if you get punched in the head along the way, you can sue them and we can all get paid.
Right.
That's how I saw it.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
He's a genius.
Dude, Scientology, and it's on the decline now because it was a fad. Now the fad's over. So that sucks, but like, yeah, while it lasted, it made good money. I'm sure it still does to some extent.
Skinology.
I mean, yeah, dude. Like they got like bunkers, like doomsday bunkers and shit.
They got bunkers with bodies frozen in them.
Yeah, shit.
Pretty soon we'll have we'll have griftology.
It will be a food chain in the far future. We will have a food chain. And
well, you see,
holographic image of L. Ron Hubbard will greet you on the way to the buffet line.
that sounds like Supreme Master. Have you guys seen this Supreme Master cult? It's kind of on the way out, but actually, Falun Gong accuses them of being bad. But anyway,
didn't John Travolta let his son die over Scientology? Jake asks. And that's an interesting question. It's possible. He was like the bastard kid, and he like cracked his head open on the fucking on the sink or something like that in the bathroom, and he just laid there dying. He was found like that. Was he criticizing Scientology? I feel like I remember that, but who knows? Maud, you were pretty confident there.
Oh, I'm just saying, yeah, if somebody's murdered by Scientology, because they've done that shit before. They follow people around, they tap their phone.
Yeah, and you know you're in deep too, because when they're doing this auditing shit to get the demons off of you, like you have to tell them your darkest secrets. It's like a therapy session, but even darker. So like they have all the dirt on these people, like they can't get out of it. If they, you know, even if they wanted to, like, there's no way Tom Cruise wants out of Scientology. He's treated like an actual god.
Yeah.
Why would you want out of that?
Celebrity.
Total Tendy says, I remember when the internet declared war on them over the Tom Cruise pick. Pre-Gamergate.
Scientology.
On YouTubes. The tubes. All right, let's
I just realized something about this dude.
Go on.
He looks okay. One of my aunts has a friend, like this really obese old lady, and he friggin' looks like her. Like their facial features are like identical. It's freaking me out.
Fair enough. Let's listen to L. Ron Hubbard talk about Lord Xenu.
For this planet, and for this confederacy of the 21 adjacent stars and its 76 planets. The incident, too, it is a very long, involved, and complex instance, about 36 days. It starts out normally with a capture, some kind or another. Capture, and don't think of yourself as trying to run a capture of having been airy-fairying around in the air and somebody something or other and got you down with a net and all that balderdash.
This is
because people at that particular time and space were walking around in clothes which looked very remarkably like the clothes they wear at this very minute. And the cars they drove looked exactly the same, and the trains they ran looked the same.
This sounds very much like an Atlantis story. Like there was high technology, and it looked exactly like ours, and it disappeared, and we're just repeating the cycle.
The boats they had looked the same. Circa 1950, 1960, the civilization has simply copied our 100% because they were told to. And they walked down streets that looked like these streets and lived in houses that looked like these houses and so on. That's what the hell. And there was quite a bit of huffle-luffle and upset and so on before R6 took place. What it was the loyal officers were the body, the elective body. They called them the loyal officers. They were there to protect the populations and so forth. And they had elected a fellow by the name of Xemu, could be spelled Xemu, to the supreme ruler.
Ruler. I love the way this guy talks. There was some hubble bubble. He's like explaining his very important lore to his religions. Like, there's some fucking hubble bubble. Yeah, Xenu was the ruler.
It seems like he's making all this shit up on the fly.
Dude, he might be so hopped up on fucking stimulants and just rolling with it, dude. He might be.
Yes.
But it seems clear to me that he's talking about something that he learned about, like, along the way, from, like the Crowley types, the people who went to the East and came back with this dark spirituality.
He was an OTO guy. We know that.
Yeah,
we know he was an OTO guy. So he's a Rosicrucian by default. Then, so of course he loves Eastern mysticism, because Rosicrucianism is just the Templars, and Rosicrucianism is just like all the like rich, intelligent, smart people in Europe all getting together with the remnants of the Knights Templar and the Masons, and like being like, hey, let's start a club that does science and seances and
all right, do we want
whatever else you can think of.
Do we want to keep listening to this, or do we want to move on to
Yes,
other
please.
stuff? Do you want to do the whole
Keep
Xenu
going,
thing?
keep
It's a
going,
long
keep
video,
going.
but I love listening to this shit.
And they were about to unelect him, and he took the last moments he had in office to really goof the floof. Yes, I don't blame you for dropping something. And
he
took these last moments to really upset it. He, of course, had several key birds who were close to him. He was a suppressive, and all suppressives. He got these administrators and so on, and heads of planets in various positions and places. He picked out all the cowboys in the white hat, and he got rid of them first, fast, and then troops, not knowing what the hell they were doing, but fed all kinds of false orders, were fed in against the population to pick them up, one after the other. Rat-a-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat-tat. One of the mechanisms they used was to tell them to come in for an income tax investigation. And the United States just copies income tax. They're just a bunch of dramatizing psychotics.
Throw fuck taxes in there, because that is the point of the religion, after all.
And the troops started slaughtering them, and then the troops, of course, were ordered out to get a hold of certain bodies of renegade troops, which were ordered to get certain bodies of bad troops, and they shot each other up and implanted each other and wiped it out. They were making billiard balls out of these places. They were imported. They were actually...
So what, is this the plot to Battlefield, or what is it? Is that the right one? Battlefield Earth? What the fuck was it?
So Battlefield Earth is what the Scientologists think Earth is going to be like. We will be invaded by the creator engineer.
They're just going to treat us like fucking billiard balls?
They're just going to billiard our balls all over the place.
Alright.
The trick was to shoot somebody, disable somebody, very often a needle into a lung, and at the same time to hit him with frozen alcohol and glycol, which preparation is guaranteed to pick up a Thetan. All he had to do was pick him up, put him in a refrigerator, and they had him, boy. Because he tried to exteriorize from the body, there he was, frozen. And they threw him into collection points, boxed them up in boxes, threw them into space planes, which are the exact DC-8s. The DC-8 airplane is the exact copy of the space plane of that day.
Wow.
And no difference, except the DC-8 had fans, propellers on it, and the space plane didn't. And they threw them into refrigerated units and so on, in view of the fact that Einstein was absolutely right. No man can't go faster than the speed of sound, speed of light, which is a bunch of balderdash. The length of time from the planet Coltis to the planet Tigiak, which is the name of this planet, was 9 weeks, and you'll see that it's many light years. Coltis.
Tigiak sounds a lot like Tiamat to me.
This is one of the planets, and is to this day one of the planets of the North Star, Polaris. And people were buried in here by the billions and the billions and the billions, and they were buried in here with boxes, and they were put in boxes and stacked around, and the people who were on this planet already just caught it in the teeth. They weren't bothered. Nobody bothered to pick them up. They just shot their administrators from guns and shot their control points out, and they took these people in boxes and so forth, and they dumped them, and then they set off hydrogen bombs on the top of each primary volcano there is on this particular planet, and when they blew up, it blew the Thetans into the air, and after the bomb, an electronic ribbon, which also was a type of...
Okay, so the Thetans are all of these alien souls.
Yeah. Yep. Standing wave was erected over the area. The tremendous winds of the planet blew everything there was straight into those particular vacuum zones which had been created. These were brought down, packed up, and put in front of projection machines, which with sound and color pictures first gave them the implant which you know as clearing course, and then a whole track implanted which you know as OT2. After this, however, about the remainder of the 36 days, which is the bulk of them, is taken up with a 3D supercolossal motion picture, which has to do with God, the devil, space opera, etc. They go 5 pictures to 5 words, and we have the full record of what it is. And it goes on for about 36 days, and then these poor bastards were let wander out. They were then boxed up again, and the boxes were mixed, so that there were 2 assembly areas. One was Las Palmas, and the other was Hawaii. And in these 2 assembly areas, they took samples from each volcano area and put it in little boxes. And they had an assembly line, and at Las Palmas, it runs down the main street of Las Palmas. We've had more damned accidents on that main street than you can shake a stick at. One of our captains was feeling rather queasy until I told her, well, the old assembly line of R6 is just 25 feet from you as you lie here on the slipway. That blew the charge.
I do think this guy's all tweaked out.
The towns that were left and so on were just battered into ruins, where you had the renegades and that had been hired and so on, and the administrators that had been loyal to Zimu were still trying to hold out. Within a year, he was under arrest, and within 6 years, the lot had been wiped out. The loyal officer was triumphant. Zimu was put with several of his cohorts in the center of a mountain, which is still on one of these planets,
it's hard to remember this shit.
In a wire cage, which is charged with an eternal battery. He's not likely ever to get out. There is a base on this planet, and it is so shredded away as to be hardly recognizable. Wherever, then, anybody tries to do anything about this, he's apt to get a flashback. So you mustn't go around talking about being the people who are going to save the planet. You are the people the planet obeys. You are the people who own the planet. You are not the people who are going to save the planet.
Alright, so that was all fucky wucky. We definitely had fucking aliens being blown up and their spirits fucking doing other things. The story of like these wars between the officers or whatever over like, you know, I don't know exactly what the fuck he was talking about in all honesty, but it does sound like the stories from Sumeria, where you had like disagreements about what to do with the beings on the planet. And then you have
Anunnaki.
And
it also mimics the story of the wars between the gods of Egypt with the civil war of Set and Horus.
You get flashes of like Satan being like chained, the demons being chained up, that sort of thing.
Yeah, Tartarus, the Titans being chained in Tartarus.
Yep. All right. From there, we can go on to some Tom Cruise stuff. Let's do it. let's go right into some Tom Cruise worship. That's what you guys feel like doing right now.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
Well, I did.
Yeah.
I saw The Last Samurai and was like, yeah, fuck.
But if that's what Mr. Cruise has brought to this world, there still remains one more word on the man. Call it Tom Cruise on Tom Cruise Scientologist.
I think it's a privilege to call yourself a Scientologist, and it's something that you have to earn. And because a Scientologist does.
So this is from like fuck yeah Tom Cruise night that the Scientologists had to like give him presents and talk about how much he's fucking they want to suck his dick or whatever. But yeah, he's just like rambling about Scientology, and they're making it the biggest thing in the world because obviously Tom Cruise is the most visible Scientologist and he's the best representative for their brand. So they're just milking it, and it's so cringe, but it's so fucking funny.
He or she has the ability to create new and better realities and improve conditions. Right. Being Scientologist, you look at someone and you know absolutely that you can help them. So for me, it really is KSW, and it's just like it's something that I don't mince words with that, you know, with anything that LRH does. But that policy to me has really gone, boy. There's a time I went through and I said, you know what? When I read it, I just went, this is it. Is exactly
this
it.
Is saying
being
nothing.
A Scientologist,
fake mission
when you drive
impossible
past
shit.
an accident, it's not like anyone else.
Commercial music.
As you drive past, you know you have to do something about it because you know you're the only one that can really help.
All right, so Tom Cruise is driving past a car accident. Some lady fucking got her head splattered all over the fucking windshield. This guy runs out knowing he's the only guy that can help. What do you think Tom Cruise does in that moment?
He's
gonna check her
sign
feet
an
and
autograph.
Yeah, sign an autograph and leave.
That's what drives me, is that I know that we have an opportunity and to really help for the first time, effectively change people's lives, and I am dedicated to that. I'm absolutely, uncompromisingly dedicated to that. The orgs are there to help, okay, but we as also the public, it's like we have a responsibility. It's not just the orgs, it's not just Dave Miscavige, it's not just me, it's you, it's everyone out there kind of rereading KSW and looking at what needs to be done and saying, okay,
KSW,
am I gonna do it or am I not gonna do it?
He's gonna do
Period. And am I gonna look at that guy or am I too afraid because I have my own out ethics to put in someone else's ethics? And that's all it comes down to.
What the fuck is this guy talking about? Anybody? And what the fuck is Scientologists doing that's so fucking helpful? What kind of drugs? I don't think he's on drugs. I seriously, what the fuck's a drug these days? I'm not sure. He's on all sorts of smart drugs and shit, but like, I think Tom Cruise might just be like this.
It's not drugs. These people are evil.
Yeah. It's a demon.
A demon.
Because I won't hesitate to put ethics in on someone else, because I put it ruthlessly in on myself. And I think that I respect that in others. And, I'm there to help, and we're here to help. And my opinion is that, look, you're on board or you're not on board, okay? But just, if you're on board just like the rest of us, period. We are the
if you're on board, you're here to help.
Love drugs. We are the authorities on the mind. We are the authorities on improving conditions. Criminal,
He's trying to
we can
motivate a little
rehabilitate
league team
criminals.
before a game or something.
What's that?
He's trying to motivate a little league team before a game or something.
God, maybe. And
Yeah.
here he is saying like the Scientologists are like at the forefront of all like the sciences and everything. It's like I don't understand, where did they get off jerking themselves off so hard? I guess if you have enough money, you can jerk yourself off all you want.
It's like he's going, oh, Scientologists are so tough. We're going to win. you guys are so awesome. We're the best.
These are literally things he's basically like paid to say, and it's not all paid with money. He's paid with being treated as a god, having like manservants, having fucking just being like given like awards and shit constantly. And
we should be looking at the Iron Rod Moonies. Oh my god.
Way to happiness. We can bring peace and unite cultures. That once you know these tools and you know that they work, it's not good enough.
He knows a lot of tools.
And I'm just doing okay. Traveling the world and meeting the people that I've met, talking with these leaders in various fields.
World leaders.
They want help. And
I was thinking about movie makers, but anyway, yeah.
Who know and who can be effective and do it. And that's us. That is our responsibility to do that. It is the time now. Now is the time.
Dude, do you think this is like endless takes of being them? Like, what do they even say here? Is like, what is the value of Scientology? And then he like says a bunch of nonsense. Like, all right, take two.
They have a guy in front of him with like cards, and he's dropping the cards, but he's not dropping them fast enough.
Ugh,
so he has
brutal.
to pick up the cards again.
All right, so what is all of this leading up to, I wonder? The Freedom of Valor Medal. The Medal of the Valor of Freedom. For Tom Cruise. He's the winner. What did you think he won? What did he win? Here he is. Here's our boy. Ba-da-da. Ba-da-da. What are they saluting for? Who was in the military here?
They're in Sea Org.
Is this a Masonic handshake, Maud?
Yeah.
It looks like one.
Thank you.
Yes. Yes.
Well, Scientology is part of the whole paramasonic umbrella of organizations that are tangentially related. Tangentially? Yeah. Yeah, they're all related to Masonry in a way.
Give him the grip of the lion's paw. So proud of themselves. What did they do?
God, can you imagine going in there with clown makeup and a bulletproof vest?
Whoop whoop! Get the vuvuzela. Get the guy with the vuvuzelas. Get him out of here. Take his coat. Don't throw him on the streets.
Confiscate his coat.
Thank you. You're welcome.
You are welcome. Jesus.
I'm really, really honored to be here with you. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your trust. Thank you for your confidence in me. And I've personally been very privileged.
Do you think Tom Cruise gets his power from his medallion?
Could be.
Well, that's why he'll be wearing the Sonichu medallion soon.
Exactly.
To see what you do.
It's like a suit of armor. He takes each medallion and then rivets them together.
To serve all of us.
To protect and serve? Is this...
Is he a cop now?
He's gonna be an Indian next. It's gonna be the whole Village People thing.
I want to tell you something. That I have never met a more competent, a more intelligent, a more tolerant, a more compassionate being outside of what I've experienced from LRH. And I've met the leaders of leaders. Okay? I've met them all. So I say to you, Sir COB, we are lucky to have you, and thank you very much.
Thanks, Colin. They've really is just the circle jerk of all circle jerks. And how much money do you think they spent on this?
Oh, you gotta spend $1,000 to get that
Okay, I've got a
level.
bunch of guys mumbling right now. Now go. One person at a time.
Oh, I'd say you gotta spend tens or hundreds of thousands of dollars to get to that level.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you got Tom Cruise there. Like, you're spending millions of dollars.
Freemasons
Millions?
do the same thing.
Hell
They
yeah.
have these parties for themselves every Independence Day to celebrate how the Freemasonic founding fathers
What kind of
constructed
fucking...
a giant satanic web to make their own fucking satellite state.
What kind of fucked up orgies do you think they're having after this?
Well, usually they take a child and then rape it until it falls apart and eat.
It's true.
I was just gonna assume that Tom Cruise might be
take
gay,
this as a
but
halfback.
okay.
And I will continue on my way. Okay.
I'm leaving now.
These are the times now, people. Okay.
This is the moment.
These
the
are the
genesis
times
of the
we
moment.
will all remember.
This will be the moment.
Were you there? What did you do? I think you know that I am there for
Doing
you.
your mom.
And I do care so very, very, very much.
Didn't his wife
So what do you say?
leave
Clean
him
this
for a
place up?
black guy?
Clean this place up, huh?
Didn't his wife leave him for a black
Katie
guy?
Holmes would never do that. I love
I think
Katie
so.
Holmes.
It was it was Jamie Foxx, wasn't it?
Jamie Foxx? I don't know, dude. Fuck do
I think
know
so.
about this
It
shit?
was Stevie Wonder.
Stevie
It
Wonder.
was Steve Urkel.
Because we're counting on you. Okay? All right? 2 L or H.
Weird, dude. Hail our cult. Yeah, so someone in chat said, what's the difference between a cult and a religion a little bit ago? And to me, it's like,
Size.
there's not particularly a difference. For me, cult is simply a derogatory term once you realize how gay their religion is.
Yes.
That's simple to me.
It was it became a derogatory term, but cult and religion were basically the synonyms.
Yeah.
People that followed Christ were following the cult of Christ.
Or the cult of Alexander. Yeah.
Right, and the cult of Mithras. So it's just a term atheists use to spur on about religion from time to time.
Yeah.
And you should just say yes when
Yes.
people call your religion a cult.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. I think it sounds cool. But hey,
Yeah.
I've got all sorts of
Fuck
fucking...
you.
Made all sorts of mistakes that seemed cool at the time.
Yeah.
I don't know. Should I go into Hubbard and the Babylon working a little bit? Should I do that? I feel like we got to get some actual content in here. By actual content, I mean me boringly reading fucking articles from the internet. The Babylon working was a series of magical rituals performed in 1946 by Jack Parsons, a brilliant young rocket scientist and lodge master of the Agape Lodge. The Agape Lodge, that sound right? Of the Ordo Templi Orientis, the OTO. And L. Ron Hubbard, founder of Scientology. From the Magical Record of Jack Parsons. This book contains the record of a magical experiment relating to the invocation of an elemental, the thereafter of the goddess or force called Babylon, and the results thereof. An appendix contains some details of the method published for the first time. The contents should be clear enough to those who are prepared for understanding, and a little study and effort should make it so for those who desire understanding. For the rest, each will no doubt interpret it in accord with his own predilections. Am I saying that right? I feel like predilections. There you go. Thank you.
Yeah.
A note on the underlying philosophy. The present age is under the influence of the force called, in magical terminology, Horus. This force relates to fire, Mars, and the sun, that is, to power, violence, and energy. It also relates to a child being innocent, i.e., undifferentiated. Its manifestations may be noted in the destruction of old institutions and ideas, the discovery and liberation of new energies, and the trend toward power, governments, war, homosexuality, infantilism, and schizophrenia. The force is completely blind, dependent upon the men and women in whom it manifests and who guide it. Obviously, its guidance now tends towards catastrophe. Would you agree with some of this?
What they're basically saying is Horus is the equivalent to the character in the Elder Scrolls, who is the god of revolution and anarchy.
Which one is that?
But like, is that Kali Yuga, for example?
No.
Okay.
They think it's from what you read, it seems like it's inert and it's not part of a cycle at all.
Well, it is. It specifically is. I mean, according to like Crowley. I mean, I'm not sure exactly what that cycle is, but we're definitely moving through ages. I'm assuming there's got to be a cycle involved. I could be wrong, but I doubt I'm wrong about that.
Seems like it's fertility and renewal and destruction of the old order. So yeah, I would say it's Kali.
The catastrophic trend is due to our lack of understanding of our own natures, the hidden lusts, fears, and hatreds resulting from the warping of the love urge which underlie the natures of all Western people, have taken a homicidal and suicidal direction. This impasse is broken by the incarnation of another sort of force called Babylon. The nature of this force relates to love, understanding, and Dionysian freedom, and is the necessary counterbalance or correspondence to the manifestation of Horus. It is indicated that this force is actually incarnate in some living women, as the result, or some living woman, singular, as the result of the described magical operation. A more basic matter, however, is the indication that this force is incarnate in all men and women, and needs only to be invoked to free the spirit from the debris of the old aeon, and to direct the blind force of Horus into constructive channels of understanding and love. The methods of this invocation are described in the text. So we have the old aeon going through to the new. We have... I'm not sure who Babylon is exactly. I want to say it's got to be like a mother of some sort. You're talking about love, understanding. So those are definitely like...
In the Thelemic cosmology, Babylon is the devil's wife.
Okay.
It's similar to the goddess Nabu in Sumerian religion.
The background of this material may be found in the Book of the Law, the comment thereon, and other writings of Aleister Crowley, also in various magical, anthropological, psychological, and philosophical texts. These are all necessary.
Methrune's Dagon was the deity from Elder Scrolls.
Nice.
Okay, Marin's Dagon.
Nobody cares about that. Like... Skyrim lore, my god.
Yeah.
These are all necessary to an understanding and use of the material. One further point. It should be remembered that all human activities after the vital functions are fulfilled arise from the need to love or be loved. It is therefore quite literally true that in understanding, i.e. that which embraces all categories of love, is all power given. A grasp of the principle of bipolarity should make this clear. I guess, whatever, dude.
Sounds like they read, like... St. Augustine and boiled it down.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah.
Parsons and Hubbard used a system of Enochian magic, which included sex magic. Enochian magic is one of the most controversial aspects of Rosicrucian magic. Israel Rigardi warned that it is a very powerful system, and if used carelessly or indiscriminately, will bring about disaster and spiritual disintegration. Paul Foster Case considered the Enochian system to be hopelessly tainted and removed Enochian magic entirely when he reformulated Golden Dawn material in his BOTA. Donald Tyson has even suggested that Enochian magic was revealed to John Dee as a means of setting in motion the destructive forces of the apocalypse, as described in the Book of Revelation in the New Testament. Hugh Urban in Magia Sexualis described Crowley's use of sex magic as a powerful means to shatter the limited rational mind and finite human ego. However, and this, I guess this is the quote. However, the ultimate goal that Crowley sought through his sexual magic went far beyond the mundane desire for material wealth or mortal power. In his most exalted moments, Crowley believed that he could achieve a supreme spiritual power, the power to conceive a divine child, a godlike being, who would transcend the moral failings of the body born of mere women. This goal of creating a divine fetus, Crowley suggests, lies at the heart of many esoteric traditions, from ancient Mesopotamia to India to the Arab world. This is the great idea of magicians in all times, to obtain a messiah by some adaptation of sexual process. In Assyria, they tried incest. Greeks and Syrians, mostly bestiality. The Mohammedans tried homosexuality. Wad.
We did? I don't know anything about that.
Medieval philosophers tried to produce homunculi by making chemical experiments with semen. But the root idea is that any form of procreation other than normal is likely to produce results of a magical character. Sex magic, particularly in its transgressive, non-reproductive forms, can thus unleash the supreme creative power. The power to create not an ordinary fetus, but a magical child of messianic potential. Which I feel like this is very indicative of things we see now in culture. And like the sexualization of like children and the proliferation of all these weird sexual preferences.
Yeah, really? Man, being one of those.
Crowley indeed suspected Parsons and Hubbard of attempting to create such a magical child, or moon child. In a letter to Carl Germer, Crowley wrote, "Apparently, he, Parsons, or Hubbard, or somebody is producing a moon child. I get fairly frantic when I contemplate the idiocy of these goats."
Yeah,
Awesome.
Moonchild is not the golden embryo of the immortals, and I don't know. Yeah. Anyway.
Maybe they inadvertently
I've read
a physical manifestation of Horus and a physical manifestation of Babylon, and they are destined to do battle before the
There
world.
you go. Scar asks, why does it always come down to sex magic? What the fuck? I'll say this, like, if you're a charismatic person and you're making some like weird fucking cult and you've got like, you're getting all these people around you, like you are some kind of weird degenerate. You have something wrong in your brain, and it's sex is probably going to be 50% of it. Then the other side is like some sort of fucking narcissism. But like, if you're a normal person, you don't have the desire to do that, I don't think. Generally speaking, I think a normal person can be happy with their own spirituality being their secret club, not needing to project it all the time, because it's obviously not going to work like you expect it. That's obvious. Anyone knows that going in. These people aren't stupid, but they do it because they have some sort of weird fucking narcissism going on, and then they fuck. Why not at that point? All right, so let's see if I have the timestamp for this next thing. God willing, I saved it.
Inshallah.
120? I believe it's 120. Let's cut to Louis Farrakhan. Surely my channel won't get taken down for this. Who knows at this point?
Blood is boiling.
We're clapping here. Let's find that timestamp.
That's right.
Wiz Khalifa in the
taking a
background.
lot of criticism.
This was not the timestamp. What's the timestamp?
No, it's all right.
223? That's not right. Alright, fuck it. Let's just go ahead and see what happens. Gotta end it with this.
We have suffered unspeakable horror at the hands of our former slave masters and their children.
Broken.
Look at your women. How many of them have grown up in this world with their virtue intact until they married? How many of them have been raped? are the victims of incest.
I mean, I don't want to point fingers here, brother, but let's just not go there.
How many of them have been abused? You would be shocked. I'll leave over there and come over here. How many young men in this audience, come on. But yet in the back of our heads, even though we bury it far, far away, these things haunt us. These things are impediments to our human development and progress. Islam is magnificent. It's beautiful. We search the scriptures, as you will see and hear today, and we come up with wonderful teachings from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, and God himself has guided us. But I found something in the teaching of Dianetics of Mr. L. Ron Hubbard that I saw could bring up from the depth of our subconscious mind things that we would prefer to lie dormant. But the auditing process brings it up, and it's like bringing up demons out of us. And just as this book Bible says, that was the work of Jesus. How can you say you love Jesus the Christ when he was an exorciser of demons out of the people? And when the demons were coming out, they were screaming. They didn't just come out peacefully. When those fellas were coming up out of the human consciousness or unconsciousness into consciousness to bring past into present so that you could get rid of the past and make a future for yourself.
So what the fuck is Farrakhan doing shilling Scientology? Did he run out of money and they just paid him? What the hell's going on here?
I don't know.
It's
pretty weird.
Super fucking weird. It makes no goddamn sense at all.
There's always been a connection, because if you go back to the lore, Louis Farrakhan had a vision where he was abducted by a spaceship a mile high and a mile wide.
Yeah.
And met Elijah Muhammad, and Elijah Muhammad revealed the tenets of the Nation of Islam to him, and then
who was
came
this?
Back down to earth.
Farrakhan?
Yeah, Farrakhan says he was abducted by a spaceship.
I know the spaceship part of it, but like, so it seems to deny that the teachings came from what was his name? W.D. Fard Muhammad, who was allegedly Allah incarnate, who originally taught all of the teachings of the Nation of Islam to. Well, no, Elijah Muhammad was the student of W.D. Fard.
Right.
Yeah.
Fard.
True. It do be sounding like fart. But yeah, so I don't know exactly how the UFOs relate to this, precisely, but nobody really does, because this stuff's not really written down.
Right.
We're gonna have to dig. Mud, we'll have to do a deep dive of the Nation of Islam sometime. I've done it before, but it'd probably be interesting to do again. There's this fucking podcast you got to listen to sometime, where this guy's making the argument that this guy W.D. Fard Muhammad came from India. And he was writing in Urdu. And
right, I heard that as well.
That basically he was talking about Buddhism. Is this argument?
Right.
It's a very compelling argument. We'll have to go into it
I
sometime.
spent one day looking at it, but I wasn't terribly convinced.
I don't know, but it's the best. The problem is that this guy is such an elusive figure. Nobody knows who the fuck he was, and this is like the best attempt I've seen to answer that.
Yeah.
All right. So with that, I think we're done for the week. We'll figure out what the fuck we're doing next week. More bingo. Who the fuck knows? And if you got suggestions, please let me know. I could say go to yakobees.com, but my servers were bombed by NATO, and I'm not sure what's going on with that right now. I got to figure it out still. If you want to come hang out in the Discord, patreon.com/yakovalive. Get at me on Twitter, at SkinwalkerGang. Maud?
You can find me on Twitter at Fremen Jihadi and on Facebook at my real name, Muad or Muaz. You will find a frog avatar. I'm one of Doro's Facebook friends.
Who the fuck? What's Doro these days?
Doro-sama.
I can't keep track of all these fucking weird names. I can't do it. It's impossible.
Wasteland Acolyte on Instagram.
Just shilling for Doro now, please.
Yeah, I'm shilling for everybody. Go to cbdx.com/blackbear97.
Polak, what you got? We want to see that fucking Skinwalker outdoors. You've been promising it.
I know. The problem is, this week has been fucking hell on earth with college.
Okay, that's fair.
And as soon as all this shit is done with, I'm off for the summer, I will be making content in extremely large batches.
Hell yeah. Batch download it. It'll be great, dude.
Off LimeWire.
Yeah. Exclusive LimeWire content. Okay, what you got?
Oh, not much. Same old. We're doing Secret of the Golden Flower right now.
Over on your channel that you should plug?
Yeah, it's K98 Loaf Coach. You know where it is, y'all. Check it out.
They all do. Thank you, Scar, for joining us. Hit me.
Twitter, just Southern Pole, because I couldn't put Polak on Twitter.
We need more of the gang representing on Twitter. We need Maud posting more. He doesn't even post anymore. But now we're gonna try this. We got to try it for the last time, and if it doesn't work, I will never do it again.
Okay.
Thank you, Total Tendies, for joining us. Thank you, everybody. Thank you very much.
Lunatic Shaman on Instagram.
The shilling will never stop. We'll be back next week to shill
also
some more.
goes under his real name on Facebook.
Great.